What is up, YouTube? My Cowboys family here, bringing you guys the latest update on our very own Dallas Cowboys. And of course, as always, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Take a second to hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us anywhere and everywhere at My Cowboys Family, and of course, the Discord link for that's in the description box down below. As we get rolling here tonight, guys, 'twas the night before Christmas. First night of the draft, guys, is coming tomorrow. And, well, if you've been listening to the chatterings surrounding the Cowboys, apparently we're doing everything from trading up, trading down, trading away, trading sideways, not trading. Who knows? We're going to talk about all the rumors, what we think is more likely to happen, of course, and everything else going on with our Dallas Cowboys throughout the last few weeks of the offseason because, well, our Cowboys have been busy, not just the front office, but the players themselves.
Yeah, hey, and we also got a shout out. We haven't been on here for a little bit, a little bit of the offseason stuff, and we don't really get into the who could it be guys. You know, that's changed 16 times in the last 2 months. So what matters is what's coming up tomorrow and the next 2 nights after that. So the next 2 days after that. So let's get it going here, guys, because we got a lot to talk about. Not just draft stuff, but it is the pre-draft special for 2026 here. And hey, technically, in 40 minutes on my side, our side, it's going to be it's draft day,
Yeah.
round one. So as we get it rolling, let me give the shout out to those that represent. And this month, it is the man from Hawaii,
Mark Hovsepian.
Aloha, and shout outs to him repping that star out there over everything. Appreciate him. Big times to Mark Hovsepian, who gets a bonus entry for tonight's little raffle we have for those in the star level. And those that got the goal, hit the goal. As you can see, there's one there tonight. If we hit that goal, there's going to be 4 names picked out and put into this raffle you'll see that we're going to do tonight. Now, again, that would be for the following month unless there's like one of these big old John Luna drops. So we'll see what happens. Either way, as you can see, a lot of things to discuss here, but I'm giving a big shout out to the man Mark Hovsepian as he reclaims the top spot on that side of things. And also J.D. Burton, who gave him kind of passed the torch to him last quarter. He's still, I think, 92 points on the stream boss. He's bossing that stream around. So shout outs to Mr. J.D. Burton. Skeptical fan going back to back like our 90s Cowboys. 2 quarters in a row he's going to represent it as our Cash App King, outdoing Jeremy Betts and a couple others by a hair. And Indian Boogie, back to back as well. Boogie to the top at the one gifted membership. Shout outs to him. We'll keep it going here. Again, no, of course, first one of the quarter. So no leaders on the gifting side. There are some leaders here on the overall. I'll go over that in a minute here. J.D. Burton, of course, 92 points. And if you look closely, skeptical fan, although he is the king of the Cash App, there is no current leader, obviously. Starting off this month.
Kicking it off, Brandon.
Yeah, so hey, it could happen before this, but as of right now, kicking off in April, there is no leaders. There you go. Now, different ways of supporting the channel, but before we do that, let's get the shout outs that we haven't given in a while to those that rep in the top shelf level, top shelf memberships. Of course, you got the Navy Blue crew, but let me shout out those in the silver, which usually on Fridays, but we haven't done many, so we're going to give the silver shout outs and, of course, top shelf star level memberships. Now, shout out to the man David Lara in the silver, along with the Q man Justin Quarles, Dwayne Broussard, top dog Bay Bullies in that silver, and our longest running member here with 69 months, A. Lavelle. Shout outs to you guys, and of course, star level Aussie and the man John Luna. J.D. Burton, I know he just dropped off today, so we'll see if he jumps back into that soon. Either way, he's representing it with a bonus entry. Everybody in the star level or the over everything level is automatically entered in the raffle. You either get 1 entry or 2 entries.
Yeah.
You'll see what I mean here in a moment, guys. But I do want to continue not just by that, but also saying different ways of helping out the channel, dropping the love, or getting into these raffles. Keep in mind, you can use the YouTube ways as a super chat. There's a thanks button you can do anytime on any video. You can jump in the memberships. We still have different levels of memberships there, Navy, Blue, Silver, Star, and over everything. And if you're in the membership, you can also gift memberships, which counts as well. All those ways count. But there's also the After Dark ways we have here, which counts as well. Baby, what are those?
Of course, you have the Cash App, money sign, My Cowboys Family. the Venmo at my-cowboys-family, and PayPal, mycowboysfamily at gmail.com, and the other backup option, which is that direct PayPal link, that paypal.me link.
Yeah, there you go, guys. So, sir, and again, when I say we're going to do a raffle today for the last quarter, I mean it. It's right there. Now, you don't have to be a Cowboy fan. We do have some people that may not be Cowboy fans in these raffles. You can pick any literal sport. It doesn't have to be the Cowboys. It doesn't have to be football. It could be any sport. It could be any team. It could be any player, any number. If you want it personalized, any style, size, you know it is. So, again, for the winner, we'll see what happens. But as you can see, Start Level gets one entry to this thing. The over everything gets two raffle entries to this thing, and the quarterly bonus gets the bonus entry, which again is Mark Hosepian. Shout outs to him. So he's got a bonus in there. Plus, he's got a lot of different entries because he was the main guy who spurred on the big drops when it comes to the time we hit the goal, which counts today. If you see it, it's 0 out of 20. If we hit all 20, 4 names get picked into this new quarter, right? This April, May, June quarter of the membership of the raffle. So another way of getting into this thing, hitting that goal. If we could get 20 people to hit that at least, or 20 different times to be hit. Either way, that's the different ways of getting into this raffle. We're going to be doing this raffle probably towards the end of the night. So we'll probably pop back and remind you guys it's coming soon. Now, we're here. I'm here. The wife's here. You guys are here chilling. Hit the like, subscribe, notification bell, baby. Let's also shout out those people here that are interacting with us on the live stream.
Of course.
Let's go.
We have the man himself, C. Bass.
Yeah.
Oh, them Cowboys, much love. Way up, dude. Hello and hi. Nice try. Orlando Rodriguez, all the way from South Texas. Chris Plumage, hello and hi. Thanks for rocking with us. Jet Lee 44.
Oh, I'm fro.
Aztec Aguilar 04.
What's up? What's up?
We have, you see, 12th man off grid.
He's a Seattle fan there.
Wayne Broussard, the top dog himself.
Yeah.
See, Third Eye Designs. There we go. Took me a second. I almost said EYE. 313. Mike Aldana, hello. What's up? Thanks for rocking with us here. Skeptical fan. Always staying skeptical. We got Jared Jones. Of course, giving his, draft.
I see the whole After Dark crew there. After Dark 3, After Dark 2, After Dark 1.
Of course.
Stay tuned to After Dark 2 for tonight and over the next couple of days. Anyways, I see
that 5 times fast.
Rolando Rodriguez in the house. Shout outs to everybody. Let's get this thing going. I do want to say one last thing on the overall board. You see there that quarterly sponsor leaderboard for this quarter. I say month, but it's really the quarter. Shout out to the people that are on this list. And you can see who's in first place right there. It is Aussie in first place. We got A. Lavelle on the board as well. Darren Posey. Shout outs to him. I said Aussie already. We got Alonda Hanslu representing over there, even though she's a Dolphin fan, right? Dwayne Broussard in the silver level. Shout outs to you as well. And JD from DC back in that Navy Blue crew.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the people on the board right now. Appreciate every single one of you guys. We'll see if we add any new names tonight right here on My Cowboys Family. Of course, we'll be also live, not during the game, not during the draft, the next 3 nights. We want to make sure we spend our time not sitting here bullshitting you guys about who's going to be next. We want to make sure we give you guys the information on the guys we actually get. So we're going to talk about our Cowboys tomorrow here after the draft, soon after the draft. So it won't be right after, but it'll be soon after the draft. We'll have about the same time frame, probably a live stream. And it'll just not be on anything we're going to talk about today when it comes to the deals with Aubrey or the situation with George Pickens. It's going to be only about the draft and the things that are good, bad, and ugly about our pick or picks we're going to have tomorrow, or the moves that we make for round 1 of the 2026 NFL draft. I think we're caught up on everybody in the chat, right?
Yes, we are.
All right, so let's get it going. There was in this last 2 or 3 weeks or so, some new stuff to discuss when it comes to the Las Vegas meetings with the owners. Super Bowl. Not the Las Vegas meetings, but the Florida meetings I think that they have with the owners. The Super Bowl is returning to Vegas. My fault there. And the next year that comes, they were voting on was 2029. So all the way in 2020, that new stadium is bringing in their first Super Bowl there. It's been officially approved. Again, the Super Bowl is going back to Vegas With Allegiant Stadium set to host the game here, it'll be actually it's the second time. They just did it a couple of years ago, if I recall.
Yeah.
They had the Vegas ball sphere, whatever it's called, and had every team's rings on there, whatever it was. So they're going to go back there in 2029, second time hosting the city. I think it was successful, a big success in 2024. So NFL owners are expected to formally approve this in the meetings coming up in May in Phoenix, just to give you guys an idea on that.
I feel like Vegas makes sense for a Super Bowl
A
location.
lot of betting.
Nice and neutral.
Yes, a lot of betting going down, but yes.
I just meant neutral as in,
Yeah, no team
obviously
there.
no one's
Yeah.
ever going to make it from there. Yes.
So no, well, the Vegas Raiders can.
That's the joke,
Oh,
my
okay.
love.
The guy said it's similar to the Cowboys in that sense. Anyways, so again, there was a lot of other discussions going on there in these meetings, and Goodell was asked about Florida, basically about the Florida AG, Attorney General,
Mhm.
asking the NFL to rescind the Rooney Rule because of they're trying to take out the quote unquote woke DEI stuff. And Goodell says that that's not going to happen. He said, "quote One thing that doesn't change is our values. The Rooney Rule is not a hiring mandate." Again, he's kind of adding the mechanism, saying that it helps quote identify a diverse set of candidates and hiring the best talent. That's how we get better. That's what Goodell said. Got to give him credit for that. And I do like the fact I do like we could criticize the NFL a lot, but I do like them sticking to some of their values at least, better or for worse, or whatever the other ulterior meanings are. It definitely does help
Yeah, they could
diversity
have
in the
easily
coaching
shown that
ranks.
out if they wanted to.
Yeah, especially with the current political climate. So you know how that goes. Anyways, now the owners also approved to change the scheduling policy, clarifying that Friday games are no longer considered short weeks.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, no more short weeks now. Friday is not considered that. Teams are limited to 2 short week games per season, which usually hit on a Thursday. And because they had a lot less rest in between games. As we know, we've always hit those Thursday games at least on
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, and usually another one in the season. So that rule still applies, but now Friday games like Black Friday games or the Christmas game this year, those don't count towards that limit. So now you could get a Thursday game, and the next week get a Friday game, or a Friday game and then a Thursday game. Either way, so a team can play 2 Thursday short week games and still be scheduled for a standalone Friday game, giving TV partners like Amazon more flexibility on which teams to pick for the schedule.
At first I was like, damn, that sounds dumb. But as soon as you said it out loud, I'm like,
Hmm.
it sounds like that rule was almost specifically changed for the Cowboys so that right after our Thanksgiving game, we can get like a Friday game. You think I'm joking?
No,
But,
it makes sense.
just
It's
saying,
probably
like that feels
Cowboys are pretty much
very
trendsetters.
targeted.
Very trendsetters. The Cowboys seem to be when it comes to changing rules and changing things. So, anyways, when it comes to other, I guess you could say other situations going on with these rules, I do want to say one little addition here when it comes to the schedule. Since and again, I don't really have any new information. Usually by this point, I'm going to be honest, by the 22nd of April, almost every year we've been doing this thing, schedules have been released by this point. I know that maybe some of us forget, but the schedules usually are out by now. Thing is, no schedule. Why is that? Well, schedule's officially going to be released in the middle of May. They changed that. So keep that in mind, guys. One less month, basically. It used to be the middle of April. Now it's the middle of May. So we'll see what happens when it comes to the Cowboys schedule. But we know our basic schedule situation. We know our opponents for this upcoming season. And I'll give you the quick look at them there. You see them there. Home opponents, the extra home game this year, and the away opponents. Of course, when it comes to the preseason, we get 2 away games and 1 home game on the preseason side. But again, all this will be coming out, I'm sure, drips and drabs, and the big games and certain games will be out. Thanksgiving games stuff will be out before the actual mid-May date. But mid-May, everything will be out from all teams. It's important to the Cowboys. You can make our plans for those that want to make it to the any Cowboy game, home or away, I guess you can say. So now I also want to throw in here that the fact that the Cowboys and Jerry Jones, I just have to throw Jerry Jones up on the screen here because he is kind of the one kind of was asking this in the meetings. Arlington, City of Arlington paid $325 million to help build AT&T Stadium, as we know, for the Cowboys. But now Arlington, their city council, is going to vote on whether or not to spend hundreds of millions of dollars to keep the Cowboys there. That's going to be interesting. Now, you can look at this in different ways, but the way, even though it says hundreds of millions, the Cowboys are going to contribute at least $750 million to improvements at AT&T Stadium, and the city
Hmm.
is only have to spend, and I said only, but only have to spend $273 million. Not the way they made it sound initially, where it's going to be like hundreds of millions, maybe a trillion. Who knows? The point is that Jerry Jones is putting up about 80% of the money to help do and he's asking for the city to put up about another $273 million on top of that. And they're thinking they got to make a move on this Arlington, the city council, to keep the Cowboys there or not. And let me let you know, they're going to end up keeping the Cowboys for the actual numbers. What it looks like you might see it and say, "Oh wow, taxpayers have to pay $1 million, $100 million, or I'm sorry, like $1 trillion on this, close to $1 trillion." No, Jerry Jones is paying.
Seabass said it. The city got tired of paying for Jerry to always be losing.
Yeah, but Jerry is gonna. He's already said he's gonna put at least $750 million towards it. So that leaves again.
At least
he's saying at least. My point is, 273 will be taxpayers and that brings in a lot of revenue business. So you got to balance that into that mix there too. Also, in recent years, I want to say something else about Jerry Jones. Not really part of the meetings, but just a little side note for Jerry Jones. In recent years, players have voiced that they feel the grass, playing on grass, is better for their bodies than the turf, which we've heard not just from Cowboy players, from a lot of players. But Jerry Jones contended that point on his last discussion. This not the one from today, but the one previously.
Mm-hmm.
And he said the surface is modifiable, but Jerry has no plans to change the surface during NFL games in the NFL season. So it's going to stay turf, according to Jerry Jones. Just like the blinds are going to stay open for the sun again. Every Cowboy player's eyes, it seems. Anyway.
You got to remember, AT&T Stadium is about more than the grass field. So, and that is probably the priority.
Unfortunately. Now, unfortunately, sad news here. If you guys know Center John Fitzgerald, former Cowboy, I remember getting his football card and saying, "Hey, another Cowboy," but he was our center. Pretty sure he was our center for the Cowboys back in, I think, the Denver Broncos. When we crushed them, he dies at age 77. He played in the Cowboys offensive line in the 70s, starting his tenure with the Cowboys as a backup guard. Later moved to center, and then started 109 games for the Cowboys. He won 2 Super Bowls, actually. First one was our first one with against the Dolphins, 24-3 win. Second title came in 78 when we beat the Broncos 27-10 in Super Bowl 12. Cowboys originally selected Fitzgerald in the 1970 draft, 4th round out of Boston College. He played offensive guard, like I said, and defensive tackle at the collegiate level. Then he spent 12 years at the Cowboys at the professional level. Cowboys placed him on injured reserve with a knee issue ahead of the 81 season. Announced his retirement in January 82, but he did pass away, 77 years old. So R.I.P. to him and to his family and him. Again, our condolences. Now, we also talk about some players that have left this team, not like that, but have left this team in recent years, like Micah Parsons. Interesting to hear something about Micah. I wanted to bring up real quick that the Cowboy fans talk about Micah because, as a leader, his culture, it's bad for the Cowboys. But in Green Bay, the way they're talking about Micah is that's everything they're looking for in their culture. So, and they're saying that he's like that's what you want in your best player. So it seems like there's like a missing. The Cowboys had Micah. He was ready to be the face of the franchise and do whatever it took to do all the extra stuff. And Jerry Jones never really added him on there. While Green Bay loves what he's doing. It's like the exact opposite of what the Cowboys did. The Green Bay Packers are like, he's the leader. He's the face of the franchise. He's one of the guys that we are, that we like what he's doing there. The culture he's setting is great. Well, the Cowboys seem to almost not put it down, but with the podcasting and all that stuff, kind of puts them in a bad light. You know what I'm saying? With the way the lens was on the Cowboys. With Green Bay, they love what he brings to the team. So it's interesting to see the difference between Cowboy fans and Green Bay fans and what their front office say about Micah Parsons as a player and a person. Now, Kaiir Elam, former Cowboy player, Cowboys not re-signed him. He signed with the Kansas City Chiefs. He played with the Cowboys this past year and the Titans last year, 2 years ago, basically. Former first round pick. I think he also played with the Bills. Former first round pick is now with his fourth NFL team. Bills were the first one there. So Kair Elam moving on to the Chiefs. 5-time Pro Bowler Stephon Gilmore. I know a lot of people saying, let's go get him. Free agency, come on. He's officially retiring from the NFL. Again, this happened about a week ago or two, but retiring feels right. He turned 35 years old last September. He's going to be 36 this September. The league is getting faster, younger at the cornerback position, and he's already Super Bowl trophies to respect. There's no real need to continue going. No desperate chase for one more paycheck or diminished role on a team as a tutor for another player. So again, he did it on his terms. Rare and classy. Nonetheless, congrats and happy retirement for Stephon Gilmore. No one else can talk about Gilmore coming back to the Cowboys anymore. We can end that discussion if anybody still had a thought about that. I knew we weren't going to get him though, based off of the Christian Parker mindset. That he doesn't want the slower guys.
Didn't seem like a good fit or the right fit.
One last thing, though, that before we get to the real Cowboy news here, the Myles Garrett situation. I know we talked about it on the last streams a couple weeks ago, but Myles Garrett being a name coming up, they redid his contract, making him quote unquote tradable now. But according to the Browns, the modified language of Myles Garrett's contract is unrelated to a possible trade for the NFL. Again, he's the NFL's reigning Defensive Player of the Year and sack leader of all time, actually. But that was per Browns general manager, Andrew Berry. And he said this again multiple times. It doesn't seem like anybody else is really going. Since then, nothing's really been coming up about Myles Garrett, not just with the Cowboys, with anybody. So it seems like it was more.
Biting.
And also, it seems like the Browns are also not going to sell. Even though we all kind of said, well, it could be. It seems like the Browns are actually sticking to the word and not going to give him up as an option. So what is Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, Will McClay, you can throw him in there a little bit, but and Brian Schottenheimer. What are they talking about when it comes to everything going on this team going forward? So let's go on. And again, this is more earlier in the last month, let's say earlier, in the last 3 weeks. Jerry Jones spoke on a couple people. We're going to revisit some of the Pickens stuff as well as Aubrey stuff, and a return for Clowney and some injury updates. So Schottenheimer said on Monday that he hasn't gotten any assurances on a certain player coming in and playing during their OTAs, and that's Mr. Pickens there. And you might know why we got to this point with him right now. So again, Schottenheimer said no reinsurance, any assurances on Pickens' presence when the Cowboys start their voluntary workouts. And I do mean that as in the coach is able to talk with the players. That's kind of the first phase. That started already 2 days ago. It's not really going to be anything on the field, but it's kind of everyone's already coming in. He did not show up, guys. No, so he's like, I'm not coming in because I want a better contract. That's kind of his silent way of protesting there. It is voluntary. Keep that in mind, guys. But usually the Cowboy players show up in full. Schottenheimer said, quote, I don't have a thought about expecting him or not, but I don't know that, I don't know that one way or the other. I know that he's working out and throwing with our quarterback, Dak Prescott. So all that part of things are going well. I think you'd rather refer the contract stuff with his agent, and we haven't. And that was from Jerry Jones. And then listen to this. Jerry Jones said this, quote, make no mistake about it. We have long-term plans in mind for Pickens. Then today, Stephen Jones, in their little pre-draft, press conference, which not much new was figured out. Everything I kind of had, they said today was already said 3 weeks ago. So, but this was not, and this I'll add to the Pickens situation. After Jerry Jones left the podium there because Bill Clinton walked in the middle of the press conference and then tripped and fell almost. Had to be saved by a couple people on the sidelines there, and Will McClay held them up. You'll see the video in the shorts if you haven't seen it yet. But point is, Jerry Jones luckily dodged a broken hip, could have ended who knows what that would have been right in front of Bill Clinton. But after he left, it was basically Stephen Jones answering most of the questions. Stephen Jones was asked about George Pickens and have they tried to revisit a long-term deal extension. Cowboys have him on the tag, and he's there until I think June 20th or something like that. Stephen Jones said this, quote, we've made a decision that we're going to have George Pickens playing under the franchise tag this season. But there won't be any negotiations on a long-term deal. No, again, guys, no negotiations on a long-term deal. The Cowboys are not looking to play him more than this past year. We got him for the full year and next year. This is it.
Yeah.
Cowboys have a break here with him, and the Cowboys will get the third-round comp pick if he has another great season. Easily get a third-round comp pick. It would be a late end of the third round, but still very good high comp pick. That's we gave up a third-round pick this year. This year, third-round pick. That's what we gave up for him. So
I mean, I kind of asked it in the chat, like, why sudden change? At least on my side, it feels kind of sudden. And
yeah, well,
we've advertised our moves before, but
the thing is, Steven,
even for Dallas, this feels a little blatant. So, did something happen? Was it more of like, they just don't care to even try to bullshit? Or again, was there something more to it? Like, in the sense of like, did he piss him off bad enough that they're just like, we don't care, who knows?
So, another little I guess you can look into this a little deeper too. Stephen Jones in this discussion said that there's been no assurances that George Pickens will be taking part in any of the offseason program. So what I'm thinking here, again, Schottenheimer himself said, quote, I look forward to him kicking ass this year. He loves it here. There you go, Schottenheimer, rah. But the point I'm trying to say is that Stephen Jones kind of saying this, to me, gives me a couple different impressions. And that is that, yes, he could have, I think that maybe the Cowboys, maybe he did something behind the scenes we don't know about yet. That could be a thing. I would not say no to that necessarily. But the fact that he's not going to show up to the OTAs, a fact that he's going to be asking for over what CeeDee Lamb is going to be making, because he can make that, not because of us, because he thinks he's great or he's an extra special diva, but because he can get that anywhere else. If he has another year the way he had this past year, he can get $40 million somewhere else. So the Cowboys are not going to pay him $40 million. I told you guys this. Now, I was even surprised if he had a great year, then we'd keep him one more year only with the tag, and that's what we did. But I'm surprised that because of the way the numbers are going up for the receivers, there's no way we're going to have the money to afford to keep Pickens. And I think people are like so surprised. I see a lot of YouTube content creators going, oh my God, what is wrong? Guys, I've been telling you this for a long time. We were not going to sign him. And this year we got him for 28 is a steal. Because next year he's going to be 40. And no way we're going to pay him. So that's just the way it is. That's the way the cookie crumbles. We traded a third-round pick, got back a third-round pick 2 years later. I'm going to get, hopefully, a third-round pick 2 or 3 years later. When we got 2 full years of usage from this guy. So look at it as you want, but that's a good deal in my book for the Cowboys. If we get one good year from him now, he could try to sit out. It wouldn't be worth it for him. Trust me. He'd be dumb to sit out.
Yeah.
And when you look at this here, there's a lot of other things kind of to break down about it, but I'm going to let you talk about it. I just want to say that the fact that he's not a team player in this situation, OTAs, whatever it is, I know the franchise tag does not give the room for those elevators, or de-escalators, you could say, in the contract because it's a set thing. So he has more control of his contract when he's on a franchise tag in that sense, but he is taking a lot less than his market value. So again, Schottenheimer loving what he can bring to the table, but the Joneses seem a little upset with maybe his demand of money for what's coming either this year, next year, and not showing commitment this year in the sense of going to the OTAs, which most of our guys, whether it's Zach Martin, Zeke, or others, they would either be injured or not show up, and it's happened before, so it's not a surprise. It's Poland players' rights have to do. Now, what the chat's saying?
I was going to say, I want to rapid fire through some points in the chat.
Let's go.
Because you kind of answered some of this already.
All right.
Real quick, Mike Aldana said, there's no reason for GP3 to say or do anything if the negotiations are going to continue this way anyhow. Chris Swimmer said, no one else wanted to pay him either. Don't you think Cowboys management played it right? Instead of getting into another long-term deal.
Agree.
Obviously, since you've been saying, like you said, for the last few weeks that you thought things would go in this direction, maybe not this way.
Well,
right.
I mean, again, he's still a tradable option for the Cowboys if they want to, but they could just use him for 2 years and getting him on a great value and still get a third-round pick back.
Steve Bass reminding us all, has he really asked for more than Lamb, and do we know if that was ever true or not?
I don't know what his numbers are, but
it's more just that, that sounds like it was just bullshit on the street, or was he actually asking for
when Njibga gets $41 million, I'm just saying, like, yeah, it's gonna be between 35 and 41. So, to me, CD's getting what, 35?
Yeah.
He's not gonna ask for less than that. I heard something about being maybe 32 or 33. Okay, maybe the Cowboys go crazy and go that. It's not gonna be that low.
Yeah.
If he can get it better somewhere else, why wouldn't he just go somewhere else? We still get a comp pick. Like Seabass said, we're not going to tag him with the receiver tag. That's 47. That's insanity. So it's not going to happen. It makes sense. It's not a surprise. And the only thing the only point I want to make is that Jerry Jones and the front office saying, "Oh, we're looking at long term with him," and literally like 2 weeks later, he's like, "No, we don't have any long term deal with him." And that's because the Joneses bullshit. They're it's kind of like you overflex.
After the draft.
Well, you overflex, and all of a sudden, you don't really follow through, and you completely bold-faced lie.
They got more
So
receiver than they can afford.
listen, they got him. That's all that matters. They got him for a third rounder. This year's third rounder. We got who do we draft? No one. We got Pickens last year and this year,
I know.
and then we lose Pickens and get a third round pick back. So did we really lose much? Not really.
Definitely worth
worth that.
the shot, right?
Yeah,
So,
when you look at the bottom, you see George Pickens, who else was another. We lost our third rounder, but we got one back from Osa from the Niners.
now I know.
But we also lost a second round pick because of the of getting Quinton Williams.
Yeah.
So again, is that worth it? Our 44th pick for Williams. Again, we also give up next year's first rounder, but still, these are two good players somehow evolved in this draft in a way, and we already had a year under our belt with them, both of them. So yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like those. It looks bad that we're missing a second rounder and our original third rounder, but we got two very good, impactful players on both sides of the ball. With Quinton Williams, a dominating defensive tackle, and Pickens, as we know, already had a great year as a receiver. Both guys had great years. Both guys were Pro Bowlers.
Yeah, and I know that the Joneses said like one or two other things that were relevant
Today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll touch on that, but it's not really more draft related. So
I'm just saying outside of the Pickens.
Oh yeah. We'll talk about it. I mean, we talked about the Aubrey stuff too when it comes to Jerry Jones, but we don't care about Jerry Jones' long ass stories. I just want to get to the business when it comes to Aubrey. So let's keep it moving. All right, we'll get back to more trade situation. There's no calls have been made for Pickens as far as a trade or someone matching the franchise tag stuff. So he's not going to be looked upon. It looks like, at least, let me not say a trade, but for someone matching the franchise tag, giving us 2 first rounders for him. No one's doing that. So he's not really, the Cowboys not getting any calls about him or anything. The desire to want him at this point for what they would have to give up for him, no team is right now ready to give that up for Pickens. So keep that in mind. Now, let's move on to your favorite player, baby. Your favorite player that we have on our team, which is Brandon Aubrey. Brandon Aubrey, yay.
All hail.
Yeah, he never missed again, right? So anyway, this was, again, a couple weeks ago. They asked about Aubrey's situation. And of course, we know what happened a couple days ago, but we'll get to that in a minute. Gary said he wants Aubrey's future here in Dallas, which we know he came through on that, thank goodness. And again, but he was playing, again, this is what I'm trying to show you guys, the way the Joneses play. It's you guys got to remember, what they say is not always what they mean. So they said at the time, they wanted his future to be in Dallas, but it include a reality where Aubrey's franchise tag next year too. He's trying to throw that out there, saying we're going to hold you down. And then, he said, but also hopefully we get him on a long-term deal. He said, quote, I would say that I'm satisfied in short of where we are with signing him with a tender offer, which what the Cowboys had him for like $5 million. And I'm satisfied that with what we have there, but I'm not going to get into it would take for him to sign a long-term deal because that's obviously the subject of a negotiation. But we do have long-term plans. It's all right. His time as a restricted free agent when he could talk to other teams ended. Deadline passed. Other teams could not negotiate him anymore. So his options were limited to negotiating with the Cowboys for a long-term deal, signing his tender, or waiting to see if the Cowboys decided to trade him. Those are the 3 options until a few days ago, where the Cowboys, as you saw in my short that I posted, Cowboys and Brandon Aubrey reached a long-term deal. Right? They had no interest in seeing Aubrey kick for another team, and that's why they placed the second-round tender on him and no one matched it. But Aubrey's not going to be playing this year, 2026 season, under that $5.8 million tender. Again, team source confirmed, and we know now that both sides reached a deal on a 4-year, $28 million extension this past Monday. Aubrey, who's obviously, it's not the best, arguably one of the best kickers in the NFL, is now the highest paid kicker in league history. That's something Jerry Jones quickly made a mention today. He goes, yeah, we're out there signing people because we paid the highest kicker ever to kick the ball. It's like something like, okay, we know, we got it. But I know you weren't sure about this, baby. I wanted to also bring this up. I found this out, that the extension, the $28 million extension, $20 million of that is guaranteed. So basically, it's really a 3-year deal because you look at it, guys. I mean,
Yeah.
He's getting what, $7 million a year. So the last $8 million is not covered basically by guarantees. So the Cowboys have an option that last year to keep him or not. And the year before that, we can save $1 million if we cut him for whatever the reason. If he's injured, we can cut him. We save $1 million.
Yes.
But the
It's
final year was 4-year.
the
Yeah.
perfect balance between,
Yeah.
everyone's getting what they want here.
Yeah. Strong leg, accuracy, and significantly impacted the Cowboys' offensive game plan. And, Cowboys always seem that they could, with one good return by Turpin or one 120 or 15-yard pass by Dak,
Right.
and we have a chance for a kick with Aubrey to actually make this, right? Get within field goal range, which is around midfield. So Aubrey has made the Pro Bowl each of his 3 years in Dallas. All right, he's a 3-time Pro Bowler. He was first team All Pro in 2023, second team All Pro in 2024, and last year he was also second team All Pro. Aubrey has made 112 of his 127 field goal attempts. That's an 88.2% making average there. But again, and that's in his career. But he's also 35 made out of 44 from 50 plus yards, which is a crazy number there, crazy percentage there. He's like 80%, 75%. I don't know, something major. So again, Aubrey stays with the Cowboys. 4-year extension. I'm not sure that means 4 years. I'm assuming it replaces the tag. So we get him for 4 more years. That would be 7 years of Aubrey. And if something goes wrong, we get out of his contract pretty much almost scot-free on that 4th year, which would be his 7th year with the Cowboys. Hopefully, knock on wood, everything's going good, and we sign him for another 4 years. I don't know what to say. But right now, 4-year, $28 million, $20 million guaranteed. Baby, what do you think about this deal regarding kicker, your favorite player? What do you think about Aubrey in this deal? It's not $7 million a year, right? So
Yeah, I mean, I am really, really, really happy about it. Like I said, I think it works for everyone. It's good to know that we have such a consistent point scorer on our team right now.
offensive game changer too.
Yeah, like I just hate to say it, but it is a relief. Like something so small, we don't have to worry about it. And I think it's kind of interesting because just overall, I think it shows how much more important the kicking position has gone up in value. Like outside of just the league making changes to make sure that like the lowest guys on the totem pole get paid more. Kickers got a little bit more, but this is a significant jump. And Brandon Aubrey, I think, is going to be leading the charge because I think kickers overall are going to see a little bit of a pay raise in their cohorts, right? So one thing I wanted to point out was Seabass's comment. He's like, man, if I'm the, let me see. Oh, wait. Oh, there to go. Here it was. I find it ironic. Aubrey wanted to be the highest paid at his position and was vocal about it. Pickens at the Pro Bowl during that clearance interview said, oh, I want what's best for both sides, but then look who gets paid. Now, to be fair, Brandon Aubrey's deal is a lot easier to work out and make happen than Pickens, but closed mouths don't get fed.
Listen, here's the thing.
And have a good
It's
night,
a whole-
Jet Lee. Take it easy.
Jet Lee, much love to Mr. Renfro. Appreciate you,
Traveling
brother.
Fools, what's up? Much love.
TF in the house. What's up, man? I want to make it clear that obviously, even if he's the highest paid kicker, I mean, he was getting paid what, like $200,000 more than the second guy?
Yeah.
Like it wasn't that much. He had like a $5.8 million deal. So I'm sorry, had a I think he had a $6 million deal. So Aubrey passed him by a couple $100,000. Okay. Do it. Not a big deal. Some people were saying $10 million. That was insane. And Aubrey and his wife both said, that's bullshit. We never asked for $10 million a year. So again, $7 million. Take that one off his jersey there at $7 million a year. I'm cool with this. With one of the best kickers and accurate kickers, a word we don't have to worry. Something we don't have to worry about when it comes to hitting for 3 points, and a guy who gives us a chance from 60 yards, from 65 yards, from maybe a record.
I mean,
So
you genuinely can't ask for
yeah,
more
yeah,
from a kicker.
yeah, and he helps the offense. It helps the offense. You got to kind of guard closer. Maybe the Cowboys can take a longer shot sometimes during those situations because they know we're going to go for Aubrey's range there to the midfield point, and they're going to be watching that. Maybe we go a little farther down on the play, hit them deep, and even those things can open up. Even just having a weapon like that can open things up for the Cowboys offense in those ways, and it can do it 2 or 3 times in a season. That can make a difference in the entire season, literally in winning or losing. So, anyways, that's the good news. Let's get to a little bad news.
Hmm.
And I don't have his picture, but you see him on the actual thumbnail.
Thumbnail?
Yeah, right there, blurry, number 14. Got some weed right there in front of him. It is just 420,
Control.
420 just passed, but that weed stacking
Yeah,
up there.
trying to celebrate the holidays a
You
little
know,
early this
yeah, a
year.
little early, and it wasn't recent. It wasn't for 420. It was like 2 weeks ago or so. But Dallas Cowboys safety right there, number 14, and he is quote unquote backup, but may have to start because we gotta. Well, actually, he'll be still a backup because we had Jalen Thompson, but yeah, he's one of the guys we're gonna fall back on needing him to play this year. We got Wanye Thomas is gone, so Marquise Bell arrested for drug charges in Collin County. All right, he's 27 years old. 14 there, faces one felony count of possession of a controlled substance and a misdemeanor for possessing less than 2 grams of marijuana.
Mm.
In Texas, marijuana possession is classified as a Class B misdemeanor, but the possession of a controlled substance can be a felony that comes with a prison sentence. No deep.
There.
Yeah, and again, the controlled substance is what we don't know what it is. Could it be, cocaine? Could it be fentanyl? I don't know. Molly? I don't know.
Meth, heroin.
Meth, yeah,
Who
million different is a controlled
Everybody's
substance.
guess.
That's the problem, not the weed. But
You should put a poll. What substance do you think it was? Oh, that's a joke.
yeah, no bull on that. But the point is that basically that does come with a prison sentence. If it's we don't know what it is yet here. No details have been released concerning this arrest, but he could be even if it's dropped, he still could be subject, as we know, to punishment from the NFL under the collective bargaining rules of
Yeah,
agreement.
based on the information that's publicly out
Right.
there, known as of now.
Right, and it affects
he seems to be in some hot water.
Yeah, well, whether it's going to be legal or not for the NFL, it's definitely in hot water because he will violate the personal conduct policy in the CBA. Cowboys who are aware of this arrest could oversee discipline on their own, and maybe that would lessen the hit for him by this league. But while Marquise Bell has played mostly special teams, he's been a vital backup for the Cowboys, and injuries have led to him to having to play substantially on the field during the regular season in the secondary. He had 94 tackles in 2023, and he played all 17 regular season games and tied in lead tackles with 8 in that wild card loss to Green Bay. But just a reminder, he had to be our linebacker that year in the Quinn defense, and that was one of our weak spots, especially against the Packers. We got blown out in that playoff game. So, he had a lot of tackles because he had to be the guy, and he shouldn't be the guy making it. He's more of a safety. But he did play in 17 games, all 17 games again last season, which is, again, knock on wood, good sign for durability. But again, when, last year, basically this year he's entering his second year. Last year he got a deal, a $9 million 3-year contract. So basically $3 million a year. So, hopefully this arrest has not hurt him for any jail time. And obviously, hopefully he misses a game or two at most from this arrest. So any quick thoughts on that? I mean, it's kind of there's our cowboy fuck up. One of the cowboy fuck ups for this offseason. Marquise Bell with some weed. All right, no big deal. And then the controlled substance, which who knows?
Okay, so good to know. Thank you for that, Scorpio. The controlled substance is probably going to be a THC concentrate.
Okay.
Because here in Texas, they view concentrates like hash oil as controlled substances.
I see. So if it is something like that would even suck more. But yeah, I did hear about that in Texas that oils and all that kind of stuff, cartridges, vapes, and all that stuff, that would be considered almost like cocaine. The same thing, or meth drug. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's crazy.
Honest, still crazy that Texas is a little
backwards
there with that one. But Seabass said if he thinks the Joneses are punishing with this tag, it looks bad on Pickens. He just has to go out there and do what Dak and D-Law did, kind of just prove him wrong. Basically, play the shit out of your tag and end up getting signed. I mean,
Yeah, somewhere else, not with us.
again, I don't
Yeah.
think it's a question of can he play or not, or is he good or not, or is he gonna fit well. It's generally just you are too expensive. It doesn't matter
Well,
what you're
the only thing
selling.
that could
We are
be
just not gonna be
the
buying it
the
after
only
that point.
only, and again, this is you made this point that's not going to happen. But the only thing I could see is the Cowboys had to make a sharp turn away from CD and go towards Pickens.
Yeah.
But number 88, as you said, it's not a number that's easily just going to be overlooked. Jerry Jones will go down with the ship rather
Yeah,
than
like
switch.
Ceedee Lamb would either have to like suck blatantly, obviously. Even then, I don't know. I feel like Jerry would want to rehab him.
So
Oh.
so,
So
anyways,
yeah,
yeah,
Mike Aldana said it. Collin County
you don't mess
law
around.
enforcement doesn't play around when it
Huh?
comes to controlled substances. Hey, Rolando Rodriguez said my Cowboys family who was smoking to ring his bell. Oh, sorry, no, that definitely got a chuckle out of me there. By the way, guys, let me take a second here. I know it's been a little while, but you know, even YouTubers, I guess, get a little rusty there. But take a second, hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us anywhere and everywhere at My Cowboys Family. Hop in the Discord, link for that's in the description box down below. And an extra special shout out to the man JD Burton, bossing that stream around. He's got 92 points. Skeptical
Yeah.
fan always staying skeptical is your current Cash App King, but your sponsor of the quarter. A big mahalo to Marco Sepian.
Hell yeah. Shout outs to you, Indian Boogie as well, but the gifting champion. But shout outs to you guys. And again, the only thing that I'd say is that Aussie's in the lead and everything else. And JD Burton's got 92 points in the stream, but everything else up for grabs. You know how we do. So thank you all for the support here for the last quarter, but we got a new quarter, kicking off a brand new quarter. And that's why you might have seen me bring up this picture here because this is and there's the man Marco Seppi. He may be our winner tonight because he's got a lot of entries. Shout outs to Mark, who drops the first goal hit, the first drop of the night, the first drop of the quarter. Let's be honest. The man Mark,
Mark kicking
the man
things off officially.
Marco Seppian, yes. And we got a little thing to tell Mr. Marco Seppian here. Hopefully you stay around, man.
That's right.
Yeah, I know. You can't. Yeah, we got some big news for you, Mark. We'll have to talk privately, of course, as well. But we got some official news to tell you here.
Now, Marco Sepian, with his $5 holler, said, I'm not a supporter of pot and realize the joint is not as bad as coke.
Yeah.
But to risk millions over a joint shows you his stupidity. Time to grow up. Yeah, exactly. Like he chose I don't want to say party lifestyle,
disagree with that.
But yeah.
Well, listen. It should not be that way, and I understand what Mark is saying. But if you and we've said this before about our own players, baby. If you are in a state that you can't fucking, I don't care if they say that this is wrong and you do it, everywhere else in the country it's fine. You're still wrong in that state.
Yeah.
So he has, I'm saying he should have
all the weed you want.
Yeah, just don't use the concentrates, or don't use the goddamn concentrate, which counts as a controlled substance. You gotta know the rules, the laws that you're living in. If it could be a concentrate, it could be a controlled substance, and you're a big time player getting millions, getting $3 million a year to play special teams. What the fuck are you doing driving around with a vape cart? If you gotta smoke weed, and you're not even gonna get in trouble in the NFL. Now, I will say this. He won't go to jail for it, and he'll probably get suspended a game or lose some money, but he's not going to ruin his career. But if this becomes a systematic thing, I agree 100%, 100% with Mark, that this is ruining your career. Now, is it ruining it now because of once? No. But can it eventually? Yeah, it has. We've seen it happen.
Yeah,
so
still not
they got to be careful.
Still not worth it.
They got
1,000% agree.
They got to be careful. So come on, add Mr. Marco Seppian.
Hold on, there you guys said it. It's not an off season without a Cowboy player getting arrested. Scorpio said, if I was making millions like these players, I wouldn't even take an aspirin. I'm not.
That's great. That's great. I mean, in a real way, that's the way you have to be. So, by the way, I got you on the board. I'm trying to keep the board updated there since it's the beginning of the quarter. Marco Seppian makes that tied for fourth place spot there. Now, I do want to say tonight, towards the end of the stream, we're going to do this raffle. And again, I need to see Micah Parsons. Erase them from your memory. But the point is that any player, any team, any number, you want your name on the back, any color, style, whatever is available. And again, it's any sport as well. If you want a fucking soccer jersey, you want a hockey jersey, we got it for you, all right? Baseball, anything. a college jersey of basketball or let's say football or something like this, we got it for you. So any name, any player, it can be your own name, the whole thing. And that's what we're going to give away tonight, right here, my Cowboys family. Can't wait to see who wins this quarter's champion. Let's put it that way. So let me get this off the screen and get back to the news and info. Any last comments before we get back to it, baby?
Let me see here. Scorpio said THCA was legal in Texas at the time. We have to see how it plays out. Even those concentrates are legal here. Bell might be safe depending on if you bought it like at a smoke shop or
Yeah,
something.
you got it from an illegal place. You
Yeah,
got
just
it with
because obviously that kind of kicked off a lot of legal
yeah,
discussions here
yeah.
in the chat.
Interesting. Good to
So
know. Good to know the discussions are flowing.
yeah, as Seabass said it, players smoke all the time. They just do it strategically and smartly. Like it's up to you to do better. You know better, you do better.
And again, there's certain time frames. When you get caught by the league is one thing. There's only like a 4-week window you got to worry about. But the rest of the year, you can do whatever you want. Just don't get caught by the cops. Marco Sepian's going to drop some more knowledge. What did the man say?
That goes for any law-breaking behavior, NFL players.
Yeah.
But he said with the $2 holler, how about Ron Jeremy?
As what, a player?
So I don't think it's that type of stream. Oh, thank you so much, Marco Sepian.
The
right?
news?
Am I
Ron Jeremy, he's a porn star.
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's
good.
dead though.
That's what I know. That's what I said. I'm like, I don't think it's that type of live stream.
Oh, no, it's not. But I
Just
get
wanted
it.
to make sure I was
It's
remembering that correctly, I guess.
with the 2 on it. Much love to Mr. Mark. He breaks the tie, by the way, on the 4th place spot, and does not hit the goal, but does does break the tie. And put it that way. Let me update that. If there's no other comments, I will be with the next piece of news in a moment.
But Mike Aldana said, I'd say you're better off doing that shit at your own place instead of
Exactly.
out
Driving
in
around
public.
with it. Yeah. Again, it's one thing if you're just a normal person, let's say. I say normal in the sense of like, somebody that's not getting millions of dollars, that's something that could affect their job. Um, so yeah, that's it's a difference they have to live by. They have to abide by if they want to keep that lifestyle. And again, you can smoke later, you can smoke in the off season, just don't get caught on the street with it. That's it. And he did. And it sucks, but Marquise Bell could face jail time, probably, hopefully won't. And we'll have to wait and see. Now let's get back to Cowboy news, right? We got past that bad point of thing. Let's get to what we need to see from some of our players in these OTAs and are upcoming. What we need to see from our players in training camp as we head into this 2026 season. And who spoke about this? It was last week, and it was our head coach, Mr. Brian Schottenheimer. So, Scotty, taking his shoddy shots, he spoke about players that he thinks are in need and are in for a big offseason program. It's going to see a big improvement. And the 2 names he said, Tyler Guyton, offensive tackle. We need it from him. He's a first-round pick. And cornerback Siobhan Ravel Jr., who kind of got injured, came back. So Schottenheimer added that it's, quote, a big year for Guyton. He said, quote, Tyler's got a chance to be an elite player, but he's got to be able to take the next step, and we have to help him take that next step. And that's through the process and the planning and having a very specific action plan of what we want him to get better at. So no real details on what he needs to get better at, but obviously there's things that the Cowboys need to see from him to have him take the next step. And we need that because all these great things we can say about our offense, but if we don't have a good offensive line that's consistent, it's going to be a trouble situation with our offensive scheme no matter what it is. So it's important that Tyler Guyton comes through for us. Again, Siobhan Ravel, he kind of with injury situations, but I'll explain what's going on with that. Schottenheimer discussed some updates on injured players. All right. Siobhan Ravel, even though he puts him as one of the guys he foresees having a big year, he said, quote, he's doing good, and he's in the facility doing drills. He is, quote, really excited about the additions of defensive coordinator Christian Parker, but also other guys that are going to be helping in the secondary, like Derek Ansley, Ryan Smith, and Rob Muschamp. So those are the defensive coaches that he's really excited about, meaning Siobhan Ravel, and that's the way that Schottenheimer sees his update on his injury situation coming off last year. So good news for Siobhan Ravel. Good news, hopefully, for Tyler Guyton. Now, what about a couple other injured guys? According to Schottenheimer, Donovan Ezuraku got injured last year, unfortunately, but he said, quote, Schottenheimer said this, quote, he's doing good. He's moving around well. I don't think he'll do much full team stuff during these OTAs and the offseason program. But he is on target to be ready for training camp. So what does this mean? That means Ezaraku, you're not going to see him doing much until training camp. All right, we'll see. We need our defensive rushers to kind of wake up. As Ezaraku, Sam Williams, we're going to see. No more Micah. We're going to have some of these guys come up and start showing out. So we'll see what happens. We know what's happening now. Mr. Marco Seppian dropping another 5 on it and helping out the goal. We're 18 away. Mark with the 5 on it. What do you have to say, baby?
No idea why we don't just sign the Washington middle linebacker.
Yep, I'm going to get to him.
Some say he's not great in coverage. No way he's worse than Shamar and can be a stud as a mentor for Overshown.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, you are taking. Listen,
I was gonna say
he's beating me to it.
Like you
yes,
jumped ahead a little bit of MCS
not by much, not by much. Literally one paddle away of news. So
perfect.
I'm going to hit on that very soon, my guy Marco Seppian dropping some knowledge, and I 100% agree. You see what I mean in a minute here.
Appreciate you, Mark.
Yes,
and again, to me, this is definitely one of those guys that I have my eye on the most, just because, as you guys have known, linebacker was kind of my number one early desire.
We're going to discuss linebacker in a very major way, and he's included in this. The guy you're talking about, and our own guys that we have here and how they can benefit. So, but let me finish with one more injured player, an important one, a cornerback, DaRon Bland. DaRon Bland, guys, how is he doing with his rehabbing? Quote from Schottenheimer: he's doing great, feels really good. He's been around this offseason visiting with me in my office. Then Schottenheimer added that, quote, the preference would be to keep Bland as an outside cornerback, which, again, to me, I'm not the biggest fan of that. I like him in the slot, but it does give you the versatility to move him in and out however you please. You might start him on the outside, but before the play starts or as the play starts off, you see the switch off. You can always use Bland in that kind of situation. That means we have to focus in on a specialized slot cornerback. We used to have Jordan Lewis, let him go, and he had a great season. So, again, that would have helped keep Bland on the outside. And Siobhan Ravel looks like this penciled-in starter on the other side as of this moment. We don't know what's going to happen yet in the draft. But as I say this, let me kind of let me actually also throw in here a jersey number update. And that goes to one of our newest players that we picked up, Jalen Thompson, formerly of the Cardinals. He is going to be wearing number 34, as you see on the screen there. On Instagram, he revealed this, showed his locker room, not number 34, which is keeping that number, which he wore with the Cardinals. This change will affect a guy I just spoke about, Siobhan Ravel Jr. Obviously, probably he's going to pay Ravel Jr. for the jersey. Or, he's been in the league longer, so maybe he has the right to get it first. I don't know how it's going to happen, but
I was actually allowed to rock, paper, scissors for it, but they had to live stream it.
I know they should. It'd be kind of fun to see. But the point is that this change will affect Siobhan Ravel and his jersey number. So he's going to go from 34 to question mark. We don't know yet. I don't know yet what it is. Maybe they announced it or not. But either way, we'll know it by the OTAs and going into training camp. So, but number 34 is going to be Jalen Thompson, who I believe will be our starting safety. And he's kind of going to have the ability to go and play slot, outside corner, kind of like that Marquise Bell linebacker kind of deal, and can cover as well. So he's, not as good as the best guys in that position that can do that. Not as good as Caleb Downs, but he is a guy that can do that in a cheaper way. You can say that kind of mixes in with our defense and helps us give us depth and other options. Remember, this is a Christian Parker kind of decision. So, when you look at this number 34. It's going to be Jalen Thompson this year. So let's keep it moving here because I did have one more kind of guy before we get to the draft and we get to I want to go back to Marco Seppian's kind of thought about linebacker. Your thought about linebacker, green dot. So that's the thing. We talked about this last time. Do you want a green dot player, linebacker? The guy who's getting green dot means you have the radio in your headset and you're talking to the defensive coordinator,
directing the defense. Do you want him to be a dude who's
a rookie?
Green?
Yeah, who's literally green, player in the NFL.
Yeah, sorry,
So
I was trying to be cute, and then
yeah.
not jump me, but just
So getting a green dot type draft guy is a lot tougher than getting one that's already a free agent, veteran player, which is what I would do. Get a veteran player. We tried Kendricks, didn't work too well. We tried what's his name, Murray last year. It did not work at all. So again, that's a risk you do take. You have to pay the money. Now we lost out on the Kobe Dean. We lost out on a couple guys, and you'll hear the Cowboys obviously lamenting about the fact that they missed out on a couple guys. But one guy that's still a free agent and a former Cowboy, former Texans top draft overall pick, three-time Pro Bowler, edge rusher, and current NFL, still NFL free agent, Jadeveon Clowney. All right. He said, quote, "I've got a lot left in the tank." He did say also it was great playing with the Cowboys last year and playing in prime time for everyone to see. He enjoyed playing in Dallas. When asked about a potential return to Dallas, even with a new defensive coordinator, Christian Parker, and an obvious scheme shift, which is one of the reasons why the Cowboys doubted Clowney. They're like, we don't know if he can do the 3-4 and switch over from a 4-3 to a 3-4. Clowney said, quote, "Ain't no scheme that I can't play in, whether it's 3-4 or the 4-3. So, again, even at 32 years old, Jadeveon Clowney was the Cowboys' most productive pass rusher with 8.5 sacks last year. So, again, if we can somehow retain Clowney, what I'm saying? We have Sam Williams. We got to see how Ezuraku can come back in training camp. That's 3 guys at least. I want to see 4 standout guys that we can rotate in there throughout a game. I know that I think we have, what's his name? Rashawn Gary. Definitely going to be starting out there. He's going to be on first down guy. He's going to be like the Marcus Lawrence type guy. So,
yeah.
So we have 4 guys. If everyone can get, we have 4 decent guys. If we get Clowney back in town, we'll see how that goes. But to me, he not only did he say he has stuff left in the tank, but he showed it last year. He proved it. So depending how far it falls in the draft, the Cowboys might circle around after the draft. When it comes to Jadeveon Clowney, if the Cowboys cannot find a top pass rusher in the first round, or if they trade back and maybe in the second round, look for Clowney to get that door knocking again. You know what I'm saying? And we might look to sign Jadeveon Clowney sometime after that, or maybe even after the OTAs. Whether it's the rookie OTAs, or mainly the veteran OTAs. We'll see what we have and see if Christian Parker can find a place for him, a need for him as a pass rusher in a 3-4 defense. We'll see what happens, but that's one question. The other question, that's one free agent. The other free agent is the guy that the man Marco Seppian brought up, which, by the way, brought J.D. Burton to 80 points on the Stream Boss. But that's Bobby Wagner. And I think, former commander, former Seattle Seahawk, and I said this when we had Quinn as our coach, Dan Quinn, I said, he knows him. We need that big run-stopping kind of guy in the middle. The guy was a Pro Bowler a couple years ago. Guess what? I don't know if he was a Pro Bowler, but the guy is leading the NFL in tackles last year. That's what you want. You want a guy who's great at stopping the run. And that is why I would particularly think it's a big win if the Cowboys get Bobby Wagner in here and sign him to $7 million, $8 million. I don't know. It'd be something in that range. I would assume with his age, he is old.
Because again, it is possible. It just still feels so unrealistic, just because.
Yeah, it's always passed him so many times. Even when Quinn was asking for him, and this was 3 years ago when Wagner was back. He signed for $10 million. He signed for like $8 million, $9 million. My point is that the Cowboys can get him. The question is, will they, and will he leave Quinn? He is a free agent right now.
It just makes me wonder if we're gonna get him, but in like 2 years.
Yeah, we get him when he's 38 years old, and you're getting a guy who's helping other guys, and that defeats the purpose. We need him. Good point. We can't wait 2 years. We got to get him now. This is a 1-year guy. If we're gonna do a 1 year with George Pickens and just play him out then let's do the same thing at linebacker. Get a real middle linebacker. It's a green dot that understands how to convey the message to the rest of the team in a veteran, all-pro, Pro Bowl type way, which is what Bobby Wagner is, and he still is. He's still talking about gas left in the tank. Bobby Wagner is one of those guys. So I 100% agree with you, Marco Seppian. Bobby Wagner would be my number 1 option when it comes to free agency. And I don't even want to trade. When it comes to free agency, He's my number one option. Just pay him the fucking $8 million and get a green dot veteran player who still has a lot in the tank in the sense of making tackles. When it comes to coverage, guess what we got? We got Overshown, Leah Fowler. We got a lot. Marquise Bell that comes down. Jalen Thompson that comes down. We got a lot of guys that can cover as a quote unquote linebacker style kind of position. We don't need that. We need a guy that stops the run. You know what we got? No one. That's why the point is great that Marco Zeppia makes when it comes to, using our full blast of guys here. And again, I let me see where he said it. When he says here that, Shamar James cannot handle, I think, a full 17-game season as our green dot middle linebacker. It's impossible. He's not there yet. I'm sorry. So, yeah, to me, it's a no-brainer. You got to get a veteran. And I will say this about today's discussion with the Joneses and Will McClay and all of them is that it seems like they are going to be looking towards finding a veteran green dot linebacker. But again, the difference between a green dot linebacker that's named Eric Kendricks, who's a free agent, Kenneth Murray, and a green dot linebacker that's named Bobby Wagner. I don't want the other two guys. I want a Bobby Wagner. And I want the extra $3 million for Bobby Wagner than it is for the other two guys. Please. Stop being cheap, Joneses. Get this guy. Get Bobby Wagner. And let's end this fucking dumb game. So, when it comes to Jadeveon Clowney, guys, and I've been saying this over and over again, Jerry Jones and Schottenheimer were both loud about their praise for a veteran defensive end like Jadeveon Clowney in the short time he was playing with the team. So, even Stephen Jones said that at the end of the season press conference that he would be a priority to retain in free agency, yet Cowboys have made no moves. So this kind of changed when we had Christian Parker. I say he's leading this defense. We heard kind of that theme today in this pre-draft press conference by the Joneses. We heard a lot of Christian Parker telling us what we need, telling us what he wants, and we find it for him. So it sounds like Clowney doesn't fit just, this Christian Parker, future. Let's put it that way. But we don't know if he played a role in it. We don't know if it's just that now all of a sudden, Clowney's not part of the plans, or we're going to wait till after the draft, which is my guess, after the draft for a pass rusher depth kind of guy, but it depends on what he's asking for as well. So the big deal when it comes to linebackers, that's why I brought up Bobby Wagner, is that Jerry Jones himself, Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, Schottenheimer, they've all said that the Cowboys as a whole, collective group, have swung and missed on a handful of linebackers in free agency that have put the Cowboys in a difficult spot at the linebacker position. And Jerry Jones said that the team has tried to work some trades, but to no avail. So they're trying to trade for a veteran guy, not working. They missed out on Kobe Dean. They missed out on a couple other linebackers the Cowboys are looking at. No, miss on those guys. So again, as a green dot, player setter on the field, you got to know where everyone's job is, and you got to know what the coach and the scheme is all about. So you have to be very intelligent. You have high IQ when it comes to football IQ, an intelligent communicator. They can get everyone in position. When you have someone on the field defensively, you need to have, it's kind of like the quarterback. You need a veteran guy. But Jerry Jones still was emphatic that he thinks a rookie can fill that spot if they land the right one in the draft. Now, that's scary. There are a couple guys that could probably do it. But I'm going to be honest, not many in my mind. Not many. When you keep it moving from Jerry Jones and his thoughts about this upcoming draft and picking up some free agents, maybe, whatever, I got to take a look also at Brian Schottenheimer and what he said here when it came to the Cowboys offseason so far, the additions, free agency. He said, quote, he's been pleased with this. I'm pleased, but we are not done, end quote, from Schottenheimer when it comes to free agency. He said, quote, there are some spots we would like to fill and maybe a starter or two on defense that we're still looking for. Tells me without question it is linebacker. The Cowboys are looking for a linebacker, free agent or trade. So The point is and this is what Schottenheimer said, approaching as adding a linebacker to the Cowboys. Quote, we made a strong run at some guys in free agency. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And what do? You just adjust. It's something that we're working on 365, 24/7. We've got a good plan. We've got firepower now going into the draft, but we're not done. We're always open for business. So part of it's going to be DeMar and Overshown having a tremendous year. DeMar James is a guy we're really excited about. But we recognize we've got to fill some holes there. End quote. So going back to Mark Hosepian said, exactly. I mean, Shamar James, yeah, excited about Shamar James, but not as a starter. That's what it sounds like to me when he says that. And then they asked him, can the Cowboys trust a rookie to run the middle of the defense? And according to the Cowboys, according to Schottenheimer, he said, quote, yeah, depending on who the guy is and what their football instincts are and things like that. Yeah, it's happened before. Again, he's going to be surrounded by a lot of really good veteran players at all three levels. And I think that if you get in the right guy, absolutely. So you hear a common theme here. Yeah, Rudy can do it, but it's got to be the right guy.
So it feels like, for example, adds a little bit more fuel to the Bobby Wagner fire in the sense of you make an even stronger argument for that, right? You're talking about surrounding him with veteran guys. Okay. How much more veteran can he get before they start getting one foot in the grave, So
yeah, but I think that
you get my point.
I get what your point is, but they're trying to get Bobby Wagner as the veteran guy.
I know that's what I'm saying. So if they get the young guy,
the veteran guys would be, and again, that's the thing that's kind of killing me, is that they consider their veteran guys like Overshown. This is what I'm trying to say. Listen, we got to look at the Jerry Jones brain.
Yeah, I think we're on the same page here, just coming at it from two different perspectives, because that's my point. I was agreeing with you that, if they're talking about surrounding them with veteran guys, those are guys like Bobby Wagner, not the guys who have been here for 30 minutes.
Maurice Leo Fowl and Overshown.
Yeah.
Come on. Shamar James. So, Cowboys have to make a move there. Now, look at the draft, guys, and I'm going to show you this here in a very simplistic way so you guys can follow along with me and the wife here as we kind of finish up. Again, this is the pre-draft, but we're going to really dive in the draft tomorrow. Giving you kind of an idea of what the Cowboys have to choose from, especially for tomorrow's round 1. But you're also seeing round 7, all the rounds, all the picks that we have. Oh, and Calvin Richard in the house. Much love to him as he hits the board. What do you have to say with that 5 on it? Maybe, and by the way, hitting that goal, I think that means we're at 3. We need 17 to go. The goal. And we have 17 to go.
He said with his $5 holler, Cowboys are running a new defense, new defensive coordinator, and new players. They're going to have to get some snaps during the preseason.
No matter what, any rookies will. I agree 100%, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be able to take over that role. You know what I'm saying? That's my big worry. As one thing as a linebacker, it's another thing to be the linebacker that tells everybody where to go. So even if they get into some roles to do that, it will be on a very testing situation in preseason, and then what happens in the regular season?
Yeah,
can you rely on
that position is considered, kind of the quarterback equivalent when it comes to the defense, not because obviously they're out there doing quarterback things, but because they're the ones that have to be reading the offense, moving the people, and making those types of decisions, even after communication is cut off, right? Because the point is, it's still complicated enough to relay instructions, and gonna throw this out here too. You got to know the playbook. You have to know, and
NFL's a big jump too from college. Think about that,
Exactly.
Just in college, it's a difference night and day.
So it's a lot of stuff, but you kind of hit the nail on the head there, though, Calvin. A lot of new here in the building. So what kind of new things can we maybe expect from this draft that maybe we haven't seen from the Cowboys either in a long time or literally ever? We're going to have to see.
Here's the thing when you look at what the Cowboys are dealing with right now. And you're seeing here, again, our draft picks. We have, obviously, these are our draft picks currently at the moment. It can be moved around by tomorrow. We can trade. But tomorrow we're going to have 2 picks in the first round, pick 12 and pick 20, which was acquired by Green Bay. No second-round pick. If you look at the bottom of the screen, you'll see the second-round pick was given away, was traded away. One of those picks was for Quentin Williams. The other pick for Quentin Williams was, next year's first-round pick. So that is a bigger hit. But this year, second-round pick for Quentin Williams, definitely I think we all are agreeing that's a good deal there. Calvin Richard said, hold up. I'm going to break this little tie. What do you have to say, baby?
Ooh, thank you so much with day 2. Dollar Holler. He wants to make sure everybody's clear. He said, I meant that the veterans need to play also. Like, I don't
Yeah,
forget
yeah,
that,
yeah.
like, the
I
young
got
guys
you.
need to get snaps, but
I
these
got you
vets
now.
need snaps too.
That's a great point. What do you think about that, babe? Because I do
Oh,
think that's something the Cowboys have not done in many years over. They've always let, especially the offense, no one plays.
yeah, unfortunately, I don't see much changing there unless our new coaching staff can convince them otherwise. But we have new coaching staff. If that alone isn't a reason to get every single one of your dudes, veteran and otherwise, out there learning the playbook, actually practicing that shit, when exactly do you expect them to do it? Because if we wait for game time, they're going to make dumb mistakes during a game
Mm.
when we can't afford those.
Agree. And those are veterans. We cannot have fucking up as well. You know what I'm saying?
So,
We need the veterans to hold it down for the rookies that are gonna fuck up.
yeah,
So
I feel like, I don't know, there has to be some kind of happy balance between, wanting to prevent injuries and keep these players healthy and stuff like that. And dude, you got to actually do this shit eventually, right? There's only so much you can practice at it.
this is just practice. Anyways, so you look at this. Thank you, Calvin. Appreciate you. And I updated the board. He's in 5th, right behind Marco Sepien. Uh, and actually, I think they might have jumped. It might be 2nd and 3rd right now. Marco Sepien 2nd and Calvin Richard in 4th, I think. I don't know. Either way, I'll fix it for sure when we get it all said and done. This is the beginning of the quarter, guys. We're rolling into things. But a very important couple of days. We'll be live, by the way. We will be live the next 3 nights here on My Cowboys Family. It will be discussions on the players that we drafted. It won't be, what if, that, and the other for the future or the past. It's going to be about those guys or guy we drafted. Night one's going to be round 1 tomorrow night. Then night two is going to be round 2 and 3, which currently we have 1 pick in there, pick number 92. And then the last day, day 3, will be rounds 4, 5, 6, and 7. We have round 4 a pick as in 112. We have a 5th round pick, 152. 2 more 5th round picks are both comp picks, 177 and 180. And then our final pick, which we went up like 10 picks for Solomon Thomas, we switched with Tennessee Titans and got about 10, 12 spots up to get pick 218 there at the end of the round there. Again, remember that 3rd round pick, 92, acquired by the Niners for the Osa deal. And that 20th pick, as you know, acquired from Green Bay for the Micah Parsons deal. We gave away our 2nd round pick for Quinnen Williams, gave away our 3rd round pick, our own 3rd round pick. We gave that away for, you remember, Calvin Richard. I'm saying Calvin Richard. I'm sorry, what the fuck am I talking about? For George Pickens, Calvin Richard. I'm looking at something else here. So Calvin Richard as our
I know it's
leading
funny when
point
you're thinking
here.
of one thing, but then you see something in front of you,
Yeah,
you read what you're seeing.
yeah. He's showing up in the blue, teal, and whatever that is, that blue
The
super
super
chat.
chat,
So
yeah.
I read that. But anyways, the point is that
Hey, I
yes,
guess it worked because it caught your
yeah,
eye.
it does do a good job catching your eye. So anyways, the thing is that getting George Pickens for that 3rd round pick, and as we expect, get a 3rd round pick back. Even without that, though, it is I would say we would all agree that's a good pick, right? I traded away a 3rd round pick to get 2 years of a George
Hell
Pickens,
yeah.
so it's a win-win for the Cowboys. And I said this when we made the deal. I liked it a lot for that reason. Now, Cowboys today, one of the last thing they said, I guess, about today's press conference that was important regarding the draft. And of course, they didn't give away anything that they wanted. Mainly, it was going to be a defensive player, probably. But the Cowboys say that they have at least 12 first-round grades. So 12 guys in the first round they would take, and with 2 picks. Remember that. We have the 12th overall pick and the 20th overall pick. But the Cowboys don't sound certain. Oh, we got drums in the house, who's certainly dropping it. The 5 on it.
I think he's
Drums.
certain.
Yeah,
Thank you so
drums
much,
in the
drums.
house.
Dropping that $5 Holly. You know what he said?
Hit me with it. What do you say?
I would hold at 12 and 20.
Hmm.
Take the best players available on defense. Don't give away the farm for one hyped player.
Hmm.
I feel really bad, drums, because there's a lot of people in the chat and even outside of that, like people whose opinions I really respect,
Want to
that I
trade
feel
up?
bad because I disagree with them so badly on trading up and Caleb Downs.
Hmm.
And nothing against Caleb Downs on a personal level, just saying that I just don't think it's worth trying to make any kind of extra effort to get him. If he falls to us or something, that's one thing. But I am with you. Holding at 12 and 20 seems like the smarter move, seems
Now,
like the best move to get not just that, but the highest level of impact. I haven't had the chance to talk about it. I'm just going to say it super quick in a little 30-second point, but we have so many needs at defense. We actually can't afford to, I don't know, get too cute with losing one of those first round picks by trading up or whatever, because we need 2 physical bodies. I need 2 people, not one person who's like fantastic elite. I need 2 different people who are really, really, really fucking good at what they do, doing what they do. Because we can't afford to not have those 2 bodies out there performing at those levels. That's my opinion. That's why I don't want to trade back. I don't want to. It's kind of Goldilocks.
See, I'm more of the trade back if the guys are not there. If the guy's not there, I'm trading back. And you're in trading back, I'm still keeping a first rounder, maybe a late first rounder as well.
We have so
or a second rounder.
We have so many
and
needs.
add a second rounder or a third rounder into that. I'm saying you're getting a lot back. And I know we have a lot of needs, but if our guys are not there.
I guess there's a little bit of a trade back potential. A little bit. But it would have to, it's so much of that depends on the other teams that it would have to fall just right that, I don't know. It feels too out of our control. I want to think about the things that we can control.
I got you. I know. Well.
So, thank you, by the way, Calvin Richard with $5.
By the way.
$1
and that means we have 5 out of 20. I know there's only 20-something minutes left, but even if it runs out, we still count it if you hit the goal. And again, remember, one big drop, everyone's automatically in. So I think we're, 75 away from a big drop to get all the that would cover everything, basically. But 5 out of 20 right now with 15 to go.
You see, so this is what I mean by like a singular impactful player, right? Because this is how you end up in these kinds of traps, unfortunately, right? So Calvin Richards said Pickens was the pick of a lifetime. They can't let that go. This guy could be even better than CeeDee Lamb. And that's what I mean. When you have a player that is so singularly good like that you basically like bet the farm on them or you heavily invest in them, there's nothing wrong with that. And offensively, you can make an argument. Yeah, like maybe you could do that with Pickens or you should do that with Pickens. You're not wrong there, Calvin. But
the thing is, you made the one point about number 88.
Defensively, can you make, that's what I'm saying, can you make that same argument when it comes to the defense? Because that's what I'm saying. Like, on the offense, we could, quote unquote, afford to bet the farm on someone like Pickens because we have other things and other stuff kind of well established. But on defense, if we bet the farm on one player, that dude's going to be out there by himself.
We're back to the Micah Parsons situation where we have one great player, but then no help around him. So it's a fine line and a balance.
Seabass said, I want them to do whatever they can to keep Pickens. Now, how much stock do you put into those comments by Jerry earlier, basically saying, nah, we're not doing nothing long term with him?
With who? With Pickens?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, how much stock, how much do you actually believe them when they say something like that?
I believe it because it's not affordable. Unless the Cowboys change course with CeeDee Lamb. It's not a realistic, affordable situation. We have to look at it as we had 2 great years with this guy, and we have to make the most with it. On a great deal, on a steal of a deal, financially and trade-worthy wise. So that's the way we have to look at it. You just can't give him $45 or $50 million. Or if you do, you got to get rid of CeeDee Lamb. You can't. You're not. You know what I'm saying? So there's just a lot of ifs for that. If he balls out and CeeDee Lamb just breaks down, then we can start talking that way. But outside of that, I don't believe that Jerry Jones or the Jones are gonna part ways with number 88, the guy who fell in our lap. We didn't have to trade away 2 picks or nothing. He fell in our lap and we got him. If someone falls in our lap at 12, we're gonna get him. We're not trading up or down. We're staying there and getting him. So that's what I think the basic situation is. And that's why when I roll back into, for instance, all the great moves, let's say people don't like Will McClay. A lot of people hate. I'm one of the proponents of Will McClay, although I will say with that Mozzie Smith pick, a little bit down on him on that one. But Will McClay overall, here's the thing, and this is what the Cowboys promoted today. They have at least 12 first-round grades with the 12th and 20th overall pick, but they don't sound certain that one of the top defenders of their top-graded guys will still be there at 12, which means with the Cowboys go offensive line, receiver or running back.
That's kind of honestly, caught me out of left field with that.
So again, if there's 12 guys that are first round grades and 7 of them are defensive players, or 8 of them are defensive, and they're all gone, and there's 2 or 3 guys from offense the Cowboys can choose from that are first round graded players, are they going to go with the grade? They're going to trade back? See, that's why I would trade back, and you're going to get one of them. And you still get your offensive player if you really wanted that first round grade.
Again, I'm with you, but the trade back still has to make sense.
I agree.
I don't want to lose out and have to still, like, I don't want to still have to settle
Right, I got
when
you.
it comes to our pick. If we got to settle, I'd rather settle on our own terms than
Just pick the guy at
try
12.
to trade back and then have to settle even more.
And that's the thing, though. If you go offense, you have a defense that badly needs help. So unless you add unless you trade back and add another pick in the top 100, top 50, that's the only way you can afford to take an offensive player, in my opinion. If you trade back and it hits their little, don't be surprised if it hits.
Damn, it's too bad there aren't any tight ends that would be worth our while in that.
Running back Love, I think, is the one that everyone's looking at right now, is the big name to go with Javonte Williams if we go running back wise. But the thing is, McClay started running the Cowboys and the drafts of the Cowboys since 2014. Since then, the Cowboys have selected 15 players that have gone on to make at least one Pro Bowl, which is, by the way, the most in the NFL during that time frame. Just so you know, the Cowboys have had 15. Next, Baltimore at 14, Detroit with 13, and then it drops down to 10 for Atlanta, Jacksonville, and Kansas City. Then it drops to 9 for Chicago, Houston, Rams, Philly, and Tampa Bay. So, definitely McClay has found a lot of great talent. The guys that you want, in case you're wondering, Zach Martin, DeMarcus Lawrence, Byron Jones for 1 year, Dak Prescott, Zeke, Jalen Smith for 1 year, LVE for 1 year, Pollard for 1 year, Biotish for 1 year, Tyler Biotish for 1 year, Trayvon Diggs for 2 years, CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, Deron Bland for 1 year, Jake Ferguson for 2 years, and Tyler Smith for 3. So, damn good job by Will McClay. You can't say that. But again, you look at the Taco Charlton, which was really Marinelli's fault, I would say.
Yeah.
Or you look at the Mozzie Smith. That's on you, McClay. There are some mistakes, and everybody has their falters. Everyone has their mistakes, but, the Cowboys feel comfortable and confident, and I do too, more or less, with Will McClay getting the guys that the coaches and the kind of players that they want, the coaches, they get them the best options possible. So the Cowboys had 10 top 30 visit players confirmed for the cornerback position. It's at a third of cornerbacks. So that ties, again, 10 top 30 guys that are cornerbacks. That ties the Cowboys in 2017 for the most cornerbacks over the last decade. And 2017 was the year the Cowboys completely overhauled the cornerback room. Remember, Christian Parker is a cornerback specialist. He's a coverage specialist. That's where he started from. So sounds like a little bit of an overhaul going on at the cornerback spot, or at least maybe even deeper in the draft. It looks like they're trying to maximize basically the Midas touch that Christian Parker may have for defensive coverage and backfields. When it comes to cornerbacks, a lot of people were saying, what about Jermond McCoy? The Cowboys are not interested in him at number 12. Maybe at 20, but not at number 12. So Jermond McCoy, I think Tennessee, not going to happen, if you were wondering. There was also Dallas Day in the last couple of weeks, which means the Cowboys, anybody in the vicinity growing up, born there, going to college in SMU, a couple colleges in the area, it's a free kind of double check on some of the guys the Cowboys may look forward to. The Cowboys held this at the Star. One of those guys was Texas defensive back Malik Muhammad, big defensive back. He had a 3-day visit for the Cowboys, so he was there 3 times. Consistent perimeter presence for the Texas Longhorns. Muhammad gave up less than 30 receiving yards in all but one of his 11 starts in 2025. He also ran a 4.42 and jumped 39 inches in the vertical at the combine. So very good numbers. Somebody you can watch for, maybe not in the first round, but maybe in that, if we trade back, that second round possibility, a third rounder if he falls that far. I doubt it, but if he does. And then I look at the big news, I guess you could say, kind of overshadowing all of this stuff is the draft situation when it comes to George Pickens. Now, I know we talked about it earlier. Not going to, sign him for a long term. Does that make him, like you said earlier, there was a conversation. Does that make him possible for a trade possibility? Cowboys today confirmed that there is no trade offer for George Pickens ahead of this 2026 NFL draft. So do not think Pickens will be involved in any draft, capital or draft picks or moving around. Stephen Jones said, quote, "We've had no one call with interest in George Pickens." Trade rumors have not gone away, though. So when a player of his caliber is up there in a contract dispute, it's always teams looking, even if it's not, and things can escalate. You never know what could happen. But again, negotiations stall or tensions rise, as you see. So they said they're no long-term deal for him. You never know. Things could resurface. But in short, the Cowboys have been more than comfortable moving up and down the first round in years past. With 2 first-rounders, the potential is high that the Cowboys will make a move somewhere, up or down, in this draft. Then maybe even get higher than they've ever been in a decade. So when Jerry Jones spoke of the possibility of trading around the draft and at the combine, probably more to trade back than forward. All right, that's my thought with 12 and 20. Okay, and again,
thank goodness in the sense of at least
in my opinion,
the vibes seem to be in the right direction.
But then we hear McShay from ESPN say the Cardinals and Cowboys have conducted early trade talks centered around the number 3 overall pick. Do you know how much that would cost the Cowboys to go to the number 3 overall pick? And on top of that, the Cowboys would go. You know what the Cowboys would get? Texas Tech pass rusher David Bailey, who is a top rusher, but he's not worth trading all that draft capital for a David Bailey, in my opinion. Now, the Cowboys may be interested in trading up for somebody, but they're not going to trade up and lose top 100 picks. That's the big thing. They'd rather have more top 100 picks than trade up and get rid of all the top 100 picks and get the guy they wanted. So if you could trade up to 6 and get the 39th pick back for the 12th and 20th and maybe a late day 3 pick, that would be the only way I would see the Cowboys trading up to 6 at the most. Now, there's been a shitload of mock drafts, which is crazy. And a lot of draft experts have said the Cowboys making a major move in a lot of these mock drafts. And steam's kind of picked up between the Cowboys and Browns in the last couple of weeks, being trade partners in the first round. So, even though that's been flying around by a lot of talking heads, Charles Robinson, we listen to him sometimes when he writes and speaks about things. He's not buying the Cowboys trading the 12th and 20th pick to move up into the top 10. And he said, quote, I talked to someone in Dallas, those 2 first-round picks, they feel they can get contributing players for 2026 and beyond. They feel good about getting 2 players. Like you said, baby, 2 players sounds like the deal with the Cowboys, one way or the other. Whether it's, trading a little bit out of the first round, still getting a top blue chip player, top second-round pick, or trading, staying somehow in say, the 30th pick or 28th pick in the draft and going back on both picks, but still getting the guys they want and the high-value players. Remember, you always might not want 2 first-rounders, and the main reason is, I'm going to be honest, you got to pay them a little more, and that's the negative side. The positive side, you have that 5th-year option on guys, which I think is a bigger positive than not if you want to keep them under a cheap deal and use that to kind of get a deal done for an extension, a little easier way. The Cowboys are not really taking advantage of that, but that's an option you can do with a first-rounder, not a second-rounder. But second-rounders drop in price and cost tremendously. So either way, whatever it is, will the Cowboys make moves? I predict that if the Cowboys make a move, it will be down. I think most people predict that same thing. Unless a miracle deal comes up, like I said, getting a second-round pick from the Browns and getting the 39th pick from the Browns would be something that could be workable, I would say. But or whatever team is it. But then giving up your 1st and 20th, your 12th and 20th for the 6th, I would not do that. I don't care who it's for. So some people say, well, Cowboys should not trade up for someone like Sonny Styles. He's a linebacker from Ohio State, but he is a top linebacker, but he's not worth a top 10 pick to most people. They say, a lot of people say they love Sonny Styles, but they would hate that trade. So I also would not like that trade for Sonny Styles, especially when you look at the fact that the Cowboys need help at all 3 levels. I don't care what Jerry Jones says or Stephen Jones says. We need help at all 3 levels on defense. You can't waste it for a linebacker that you could probably maybe even get at 12. Yeah, I said that. So now, if you trade up for someone like Caleb Downs, now he's a guy, he got little injury issues, but a little injury issue that's cleared. But I would be much more interested for someone like Caleb Downs. I'm being honest on that one. He would transform the Cowboys defense. Caleb Downs counts as a safety, but he's really like a small linebacker, big safety kind of guy. He can play all over the place, transforming the Cowboy defense and a perfect fit for Christian Parker. But you can't just look at Christian Parker. You got to look at the history, the full time span, not just 1 year or one coach. So I think trading up for Downs would make sense if we got like the 39th pick and the 6th pick. We get Downs, okay. But if we got to give up pick 12 and 20, and only get 6, no, I'm not doing that. Not doing it. So um, that's the options there. Now, again, the Cowboys also, in my opinion, need some kind of secondary player where there is a Caleb Downs type, and an edge rusher, in my opinion, more than a linebacker in the draft. I think we need a Bobby Wagner linebacker, but in the draft, I'd rather not go for Sonny Styles and then stick that blue dot, the green dot in his helmet, and then he has to run the entire defense as a rookie. That's not going to be the best way to go with him, in my opinion. So when you look at the options at 12, if we stay there, guys, Caleb Downs probably not going to be there anymore. He's Ohio State safety, but safety slash big linebacker, or small linebacker. Ohio State linebacker, Sonny Styles is the other option. I think is more realistic for the Cowboys to get him. I have no problem with him at 12. I have a problem with trading up for him at 6. So both positions are not usually ones you see picked in the top 12, but these are special, talented players, both these Buckeyes. So again, I think that you're going to see a likelier, I guess, league trends and drafting these positions high, with someone like a Caleb Downs, who's kind of a jack of all trades, and someone like Sonny Styles, who's a linebacker per se. That's it. So only 8 safeties have been drafted in the top 10 since 2000, and Caleb Downs would be the 9th safety drafted. So think about that. How special you got to be on that list. Kyle Hamilton was expected to be another in 2022, but he slipped all the way to 14. So Caleb Downs expected to be a safety. Safeties don't get picked in the top 10. If he slides out of there to 12, we will draft him, guaranteed, at 12. Caleb Downs, that'd be a miracle. I doubt that happens. But if not him, it could be Sonny Styles. Either way, I'd be happy with, obviously thrilled with Caleb Downs at 12. Happy with Sonny Styles. Sonny Styles at 12. Very happy with him at 12 if we have to go for him there. And but there are a couple landmines the Cowboys have to worry about. And I would say it would be the Bengals at 10, but the Bengals traded their pick away for what was it, Leonard Williams? Is that his name, Leonard Williams? From the Giants. Dominator. But again, he is Dexter Williams now with the Bengals. But the Giants now get that 10th pick, right? 2 picks in front of us. Maybe a little payback from a couple years ago when we did them wrong and screwed them over with a deal we made with the Eagles, which actually got us eventually Osa, which eventually got us our 3rd round pick, number 92 right there you see on your screen. It's not funny how that breaks down, huh? But either way now, Cowboys have to hope the Giants don't take anybody at 10th spot there, like a Caleb Downs or Sonny Styles. I will say this, though. A couple weeks ago, both these guys did not look positive for the Cowboys at 12. There's a chance that both of them could be there. Or at least one, let me put this there, at least one of them could be there in a real way at pick number 12. When you look at the Cowboy true projections at 12, Sonny Styles would be my number 1 pick of true, realistic projections. Linebacker also can, start off as safety, but obvious linebacker. Frequently mocked in mock drafts to the Cowboys, and definitely a versatile defender. But again, is he a green dot type guy? I'm not sure about that. I still think if you get him, you still need Bobby Wagner. Another guy I really do like, maybe not spoken about enough, but I would not be upset with this guy, cornerback from LSU. To me, the top-rated cornerback, Mansour Delane. Mansour Delane, cornerback from LSU, he top-rated cornerback, and also frequently linked in mock drafts to one of the Cowboys' first-round picks. He could be pick 20 for us, could be, right? But also could be forced to be taken there if there's nobody else there at the first pick there, 12. So we don't know. Let me stop for a moment here. I got a couple more things to say about the draft, and we're going to close it out for the night. Another drop that counts as hitting the board. I don't care if it closed out or not. We need 14 more to go. I think 14 more to go to hit it. And I'm almost done with the stream, so it's going to be tough. But shout outs to the one and only Jeremy Betts. If I'm right here, I think he is. Yes, he is the current leader. Boom for this quarter. Shout outs to Jeremy Betts. Let me make sure I get a little recognition here. Love. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you said for the support. And appreciate you, brother. Support your support for this and what we do here on this side of the microphone. And I really try to go with the realness here and give you guys kind of like not the bullshit, not the dreams and hopes that all the other content creators give you. I know it's fun, but I've done that. We've done this for 9, 10 years. 10 years of doing this off-season thing. Trust me when I say this. I know the Cowboys, and once in a blue moon they'll do something. Oh, okay, wow. Most of the time it's just a bunch of blowing smoke up our asses. So Jeremy Betts, appreciate the support. Thank you, sir. And he is currently the leader this quarter on the Cash App board. Shout outs to Skeptical as the winner back to back quarters, and shout outs to Jeremy Betts, the current leader this quarter. JD Burton, 63 points on the stream boss, hanging on there in the yellow. Sponsor of the quarter, the man Marco Sepien, who also is tied for second with Calvin Richard on the board. Shout outs to you guys. And let me also fix the leaderboard to make sure I add the man here, Jeremy Betts, who just jumped on the board. And actually, again, remember, guys, tiebreakers count. Tiebreakers in the Cash App counts as well. And so he breaks a tie with Drums and others there, as he is now all by himself in sixth place, Jeremy Betts, on the overall board. And then we got, let me see if I got this right. Yeah, there we go. Seventh place, we got Drums tied with Darren Posey, Alonda Hanslu, I think JD from DC. Shout outs to everybody in the house. And I think we got another person in the house that just dropped a little love. It is the man Harley Dad. Shout outs to the man Harley Dad from the After Dark channels. He's repping it here with us. And I know he's a San Fran fan. There he goes. But appreciate you, brother. And again, I'm trying to say, I know it's just 25 seconds. I let it go all the way to the end. I let it. The show ends is when the situation ends when it comes to the goal. But right now we have 7 hits on the goal. So how do I say this? We need 13 to go. 13 hits to go. Put it that way. I'll put it this way: 13 to go, 7 hits on the goal. And even though it says there the goal ends or whatever, let me see if I can just repeat the goal again. I don't think I can. Anyways, the point is, you guys see it there. Let me see if I could fix it on this side on things. Shout outs to Harley Dad though. Put him on this board. And if we hit the goal for the night, which I think we're what? $65 away. I guess that's possible. But Harley Dad and everybody else will be entered into the next raffle for this quarter. Let's put it that way. So shout outs to you, Mr. Harley Dad, and everybody else who dropped the love tonight. It is getting close to the end of the stream, and we will do the raffle for the jersey here very, very soon. Let me add Mr. Harley Dad on this board. Being a Niner fan, him being a Niner fan means that he has to go to the back of the line. Most love the Harley Dad. The After Dark time we do here, MCF After Dark. He's one of the major people there on the panel shows that are out there. That nothing to do with football usually. Just a lot of interesting discussions. Let's put it that way. The shout outs there. Steve Scorpio, Sean Hopkins, much love. Steve Bass, and of course the man Jeremy Betts. Good night, brother. Appreciate the love. We got Seabass, we got Bass Playa. Thank you all. And not done yet. I get out of here in the house. He said, if the big names are off the board, are these two players still there? Would you pick them up? Chris Johnson or Jacob Rodriguez? No, I trade back. I would trade back because I think Jacob Rodriguez, we could pick him up at the 20th pick or a couple picks back. I think we could get a third rounder, an early third rounder, or even a late second rounder. Or if the trade back goes back far enough, we get an early second rounder, possibly. So it really depends. Everybody back to the Harley down in the house. Shout outs to you, brother. Appreciate you. But yeah, that's the way it kind of that's what I see it. And same thing with Chris Johnson. It'd be more of a later in the round kind of situation. There's a couple guys I would take before them, actually, and that's what I'm kind of building up to. So Sonny Styles, I like. He'd be my number one realistic goal. If Caleb Downs falls down to us, I'm taking Caleb Downs. But let's say Caleb Downs is gone. He's probably going to be gone. Sonny Styles, let's assume he's gone. Mansour Delaney, I would take as our cornerback over Chris Johnson from I think I said San Diego State Aztecs there. I would I would go with the cornerback from LSU, Mansour Delaney. All right, he's probably the top-rated cornerback in the draft, and we need cornerbacks. Him with Deron Bland, and then you got Shavon Ravel Jr. hopefully making that step up. That would be a nice trio right there, a cornerback spot. Um, Another guy I'm not too high on. I think he'd be more for a 20th pick. You could put him with Jacob Rodriguez, C.J. Allen. To me, he's more of a second round guy. Anyways, if we go back and get like the 35th pick, we get C.J. Allen. I'm happy there. But he is a potential impact player for the linebacking core, whoever picks him up. I just don't see him as a green dot guy, and he's not as good, Sonny Styles, as with the versatility side of things. So that's my thing with C.J. Allen. To me, he's more of a 20th pick to, I'd say, more second round pick to me, C.J. Allen. While Sonny Styles, Mansour Delane, they'd be first round 12th pick to me of realistic options available. Now, another 20th pick, if the Cowboys go edge, let's go to my old alma mater here, UCF, go Knights. Edge rusher, Malachi Lawrence. Not DeMarcus Lawrence, Malachi Lawrence from UCF. He's a high upside pass rushing player, and he's a good targeting player. He's a great edge rusher. Good for edge rotation, especially like for us with Sam Williams, maybe Clowney back, but you also have Azuraku and other guys in the mix that could peek through there. You throw in there, you get Clowney back, you really set, and you throw in there someone like Malachi Lawrence. You got a real high upside in a edge rushing rotation core. So that'd be great there. For again, I said 20th pick to like end of the first round. I'm saying in that range for him. The only guy that would be a trade up would be Caleb Downs, in my opinion. And again, we'd have to get a 39th pick or better, along with the high pick. Giving up the 12th and 20th, I'd have to get 6th and 35th to be realistic about this. Sorry, that'd be me. But again, the Cardinals, Cowboys, if the trade is done for the 3rd overall pick, the Cowboys saying they're going to go for David Bailey, an edge rusher from Texas Tech, which would be a horrible decision in my mind. I would hate that, and the Cowboys would probably give up both picks and not get anything back. And maybe even have to give a 3rd rounder. So I would never do the David Bailey trade, or trade for him. But Sonny Styles, if he drops to 12, Mansour Delaney at cornerback, if he drops to 12, all in on those guys. Of course, Caleb Downs, no matter what, I'd take him over anybody if they drop to 12. And very little would make me want to trade up for even Caleb Downs. But trading back down, if all these guys are gone, I trade down and get a Rodriguez or a C.J. Allen or Malachi Lawrence with 1 or 2 of those picks. And they still have another one in the 2nd round to choose from there. So a lot of options available, but I would not trade up, trade down, and see who's there at 12 before you trade anywhere. That's the way I would do this. Now, what are the experts saying? The mock drafts, a couple of them I'll bring up. Dane Brugler from the Athletic. He's a known guy. He has Sonny Styles going at 6 to the Cowboys and having the Cowboys trade up to 6 and get the 39th pick for that 20th pick. And that 39th pick, the Cowboys get Traden Stukes, cornerback from Arizona. Don't know much about him, but 39th pick, I don't think you really go wrong there. I just hope that he's a good player. We'll look into him if the Cowboys do something like that. Now, the 3rd round pick, 92nd, Dane Brugler puts Romeo Height, edge rusher from Texas Tech, in there. And then the 112th pick in the 4th round, Chris McClellan, defensive lineman from Missouri. That's what he put as the mock draft, the latest mock draft experts there. Jordan Reed from ESPN said, and this is the guy I think is kind of a sleeper pick here. To me, he would be a 20th pick. He's a guy you could put up there. If we don't get Mansour Delaney at 12, 20, or even at 12, or you trade back to 15, you can still get this guy from Oregon, safety, Dylan Feineman. And I think that this guy, a good player, solid, but I would not reach for him at 12 necessarily. I'd rather go back and maybe get him at 15 or 20 or something like this. That's what I'm thinking. Now, I see Chris Johnson here, cornerback for San Diego State. Similar situation, more of a 20 to end of the 1st round kind of guy. For me, Chris Johnson, I still would put guys like Mansour Delaney in front of him. And I even take Dylan Thieneman over him as well. But Chris Johnson as a pure cornerback from San Diego State, I think that'd be an option when you get to 20 there. A little later in the draft, a linebacker from TCU, Caleb Elarms. I think Jordan Reed projected him for the Cowboys as well. Don't know enough about him to say good or bad. But again, you get to that point, you're getting the guys that are, probably not going to be as strong to be a starter, initial starters. Now, you heard these names I just mentioned to you guys. When it comes to tomorrow's draft, we'll be live soon after the draft ends, talking about the player or players or deals that we made concerning this draft. We'll be ready, guys. We will be live after the draft. But according to the percentages and mock draft data, there is about a 25% chance that at least Caleb Downs, probably not, but Caleb Downs, Sonny Styles, linebacker, or Mansour Delaney are going to be there at pick number 12 for the Cowboys. About a 25 chance, 1 out of 4 chances that one of those 3 guys have dropped to the Cowboys at 12. So that's you're saying there's a chance. So again, if there's none of these guys there, would you take a chance with this guy? Pass rusher, edge rusher from Miami, Ruben Bain Jr. There's been some issues coming out, but I would. He was a top 10 guy. He's dropped a little bit. He could be one of these guys that could be a pick for the Cowboys that could work out in a big way. Let me explain. First and foremost, multiple mock drafts. If he does fall, have him going to the Cowboys. And if you want to add a pressure guy, a pass rusher, he's the guy you want to start with. Someone like Ruben Bain Jr., the ACC Defensive Player of the Year in Miami Hurricanes, hands of destruction, and again, had 9.5 sacks for the Hurricanes last year. He was the issue with him. The reason why he dropped, he was cited for careless driving, but not recently, guys. 2 years ago, March 2024. It reminds me of a Dak situation a little bit. So he had a crash. He had a careless driving, not necessarily drunk driving, but careless driving, following a March 2024 crash, and left a passenger in a coma, and later resulted in that 22-year-old's death 3 months after the incident. So because of his careless driving, 22-year-old went into a coma and then died 3 months after the car crash. The careless driving charge was dismissed by a court 2 weeks before this person died. So again, there was no criminal liability in connection with the crash, even though this person died, like I said, guys, 2 weeks before. The person died 2 weeks after the ruling came down. So would it have changed things? I'm not sure, but the situation has been discussed in the NFL circles already. It's not a surprise. This is a last-second hit piece, it feels like, because every one of these 32 NFL teams already knew about this March 2024 reckless car crash that he was cited for. That in turn resulted in the death of a 22-year-old passenger that was in a coma for 3 months and then died. So again, NFL knew about it already. All the players knew about it, and all the teams and owners looked into this and were aware about this already. So no surprise to anybody. And because of these off-the-field concerns, is there any truth to the fact that he could fall to 12? And again, this fatal car accident that occurred, I broke it down for you guys how it went down. But the NFL teams did extensive homework on the situation. And a couple of things to know off the bat that's not going to hurt him here. No criminal charges were hanging over his head. The careless driving charge was dismissed. Family members of the deceased have, publicly stated that they wish Bain the best and hope he succeeds in the NFL. They understand it's not about him. The accident was not his fault, and that in the sense that the person died. This is less about criminal concerns and more about accountability and maturity concerns. So it's not they're doubting maybe they're not saying, oh, he's going to go to jail or he's going to get in trouble. They're saying, is he mature enough to handle this level of the NFL, to having a careless driving situation that led to a death? So that's what it's more about there, guys. The maturity, the accountability. There is no truth, though, to him being off the board in Dallas because of this quote-unquote new information. But the league, where driving incidents are being taken more and more seriously in the NFL, is something to make sure you're completely comfortable with before spending a premium draft pick, like the 12th overall pick in the draft selection on him. So again, as more information has come out, the concerns have calmed throughout every NFL team. So I personally, guys, I'm going to be honest, do not think that we're going to be able to get someone like Ruben Bain, because it's just all the teams knew about it already, and they already would put him in the top 10. So he's not going to be there for the Cowboys as well. But every team has differing opinions on this situation. You never know. I'm going to say this one thing. It kind of reminds me of the weed smoking guy. What's his name? Jeremy Tunzel, who was a top 10 guy, dropped into the second round. It was a steal player because he basically dropped to like 14th or 16th, and the Dolphins got him, and he was a top 10 offensive, a Pro Bowl fucking linebacker. The thing is that it was a picture that came out before the draft of him with a bong help, like a bong mask on, taking hits of weed, and it wasn't criminal. He's not going to jail, but again, accountability, concerns, maturity, and dropped them in the draft. So even if it's not, even if teams know this, they still understand that some teams will look at it as a maturity issue and will drop them off their board, possibly. So even though, again, it could have been dropped, it would have probably been dropped already off their boards, is my point. Because everybody knew about this already. All the teams knew about it already. But publicly, he might be off some of the fans' boards, so to speak. I'll say this: this happened 2 years ago. It was a tragic wreck. I told you all the details about this. The family's not blaming him. He's found not guilty. Not guilty, but he was charged with dismissed for careless driving. So everyone knew about it already. It was on broadcasts. Every NFL team knew about it. It came out to every single scout that was spoken to. They said, "Oh yeah, we know about Bain's background with that situation." This is a planted story weeks before the draft to drop Bain's stock. Could the Cowboys have dropped this on purpose just to drop it to us? I don't know. I'm just saying, you never know with Jerry Jones. But this was more of a, and I won't say a Jeremy Tunzel thing because nobody knew about that. But it's more of a, I think it's more of a fall through on, on a player trying to get drafted above him, and his agent or somebody dropped this information to try to drop him. What I'm saying, when it comes to getting drafted in the top 10 picks. So we'll see what happens. Sounds like a Raider pick, says Drums. He's a Chief, said Seabass. Everyone's laughing. Send him to the Eagles, said Scorpio. I think behind closed doors, Seabass said they're seeking more monetary compensation for the loss of life. Maybe so. You might be right about that. They don't want to impede his ability to make money like he did in the INL. Yeah. Not NFL's bigger money. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, don't be an Eagle. I don't want to see him. The guy's a good player. Just, uh, just I wouldn't worry about the risk of him. It's more about the maturity. It's not about, is he going to be able to be free from jail. He's free from jail. He's not going to be fine. Damn, Scorpio, that's crazy. Sounds like a Jerry thing, says Sea Bass. Let me see what's in the house. So after Harley Dad in the house, Sean Hopkins. Thank you guys for being here. I think I caught up with everyone's comments. Thank you, Harley Dad. He says much love to you guys. Seabass said, give me Malachi Lawrence. Let's go. Tyler Lawrence and DeMarcus. I'm telling you, right? Seabass said Downs or Delane at 12. I throw Sonny Styles in the mix there. He said Rodriguez or CJ Allen at 20. If we don't have a linebacker, if we don't have Sonny Styles, then I would definitely agree. But yeah, Rodriguez and Allen are more of the middle linebacker types, right? He wouldn't be mad about that. Imagine if we got like Downs and Styles at 20, or someone like Rodriguez at 20. I'm just saying, like, I'd be very happy. Or even Delane drops at 20. I would take that. He said those two defensive backs play cerebrally and they play like they're standing on the roof. They can see the whole field so differently. That is awesome. It is. So we'll see what happens. But guys, if you want to continue following me here, the wife did say goodnight. I know you probably didn't hear it because I was in the middle of my talking here, but we are going to call it a night here. I think we got 2 hours of fantastic Cowboy news, info, and updates from the last, actually it's exactly 2 hours, from the last 3 weeks. And really, as you can see, it's not been extra crazy. I'm not going to go into a million different possibilities because you know why? In less than 24 hours, we're going to know the answer for round one. And what we do with those 2 picks, we shall see. But we will be here to discuss the 1, 2, 3, 15 players we draft in the first round, or if we trade out of it. We'll be here to discuss it tomorrow night here on My Cowboys Family. It'll be a much shorter show than 2 hours. Probably about an hour show or less. But that make sure you join us, probably around 11:30, 12 o'clock, midnight here on the East Coast time. So adjust your clocks accordingly. And we'll see you then, guys. Appreciate everybody here. The wife and I will talk about the moves the Cowboys make for round one, day one of the draft. I think 7 o'clock Eastern, Thursday, today. tomorrow. I guess today now on the East Coast, but tomorrow, guys, if you're watching this, this is the pre-draft special. So thank you all again, and extra special thanks. I know we didn't hit the goal, but I'm going to run that raffle right now. But extra shout outs to the people who dropped the love from above today. Marco Sepien, the man who is the sponsor of the quarter, not just the sponsor of the quarter, but he is tied in second place with Calvin Richard, with as on the leaderboard right now behind Aussie in first place. So shout outs to Marco Sepien and Calvin Richard. Shout outs to Drums in the house. Shout outs to Harley Dad in the house. And Jeremy Betts in the Cash App side. As I said before, and I'll say it again, Cash App King, none other. Back to back, the Cash App King of the quarter, skeptical fan. Never, again, you can't ever doubt what he always thinks, and that's always stay skeptical. But you got to shout out Mr. Jeremy Betts because he is the current leader on the board on the Cash App side with his 5 on it tonight. Shout out to Jeremy Betts. Appreciate you. Indian Boogie on the gifting board, but nobody gifted anything yet. And you see the overall board there. I think it's pretty much up to date. Once again, thank you all for kicking off this quarter. Technically the month, I guess, but this quarter. April, June, July, and then we get back to the monthly thing here on MCF, My Cowboys Family. Let's go. Guys, thank you for being part of this thing. We'll be back soon tonight. I know no fan is sleeping soundly. You know they're thinking about this draft. I know. And don't be bothered by Mozzie, Lipke, Smoothmaker, Sam Williams, Tolbert. We keep going, right? I'm not gonna be haunted. We're good. I feel good that the Cowboys are going to be forced to make the right move in this thing. If they force themselves to do something, not going to be bad. But if they don't force themselves to let things come to them, it actually work out. We'll see what happens. Guys, Seabass, everybody in the house, thank you for being here and doing your thing. Shout outs to those representing the leaderboards and all the boards here, keeping the thing going. As we try to do it on the nightly, we do this thing here. And just here talking football, and Marco Sepien once again breaking a tie right there in second place. Now in second place all by himself and not far behind first place, I'll tell you that. Mr. Marco Sepien with the drop. Calvin Richard drops to third on the board. And Marco Sepien said, we need to stay put as we need every pick. So many holes and poor players on defense. You're kind of echoing what the wife said there, Mr. Marco Sepien. 100% agree. The picks for defense are much more important than trading two picks away, two defensive top players away for a guy who might be as good as that, might be better than them, might be worse than them. You know what I'm saying? Like you never know. So the defense needs help. We don't have enough players. Christian Parker's view of this defense, I don't think is going to be put all your chips into Caleb Downs. I think if he goes down to 12, we pick him up. If not, we got other plans of realistic proportions, in my opinion. Will McClay, Christian Parker, Schottenheimer, and the rest of this Cowboy crew, we call them. All right. Scorpio's placed a bet we're trading up. Jerry Jones will try to get you to think we're trading up and get the whole fan base in an uproar, but I'm worn out from the uproar. I'm ready for realities. You know what I mean? And just about. Hey, by the way, I know we didn't hit the goal unless we get a $60 drop, which I'm not saying anyone to do that, but if $60 we get everybody to hit the goal, but we are going to figure out who won the jersey for last month. And by the way, Marco Sepien, I know you're in the house, but I'm not sure if we need information from you or John Loon. I'm not sure for the jersey situation, but we're going to see who wins it tonight. And you're going to see how many opportunities you're going to have to win this thing. But anybody can win it, guys. Remember, it's up in the air. It always is up in the air. But we're going to give away a jersey tonight. And you're wondering what that means in any sport, not just any team, not just the Cowboys, any sport, not just football, any team, any name, any number, any player. It could be customized to the number and player you want. It can be patches could be added to it if you wanted to, if it's available. Different styles, of course, all kinds of sizes, children, women, men. So there's all that good stuff there. And you guys have won it before, know the deal. It's great stuff. We have like 30 or 40 different jerseys of our Cowboys, the wife and I. And let me get the what you guys are playing for right here. Boom. The quarterly jersey raffle. Star level members, 1 entry. Over everything level members, 2 entries automatically. Quarterly bonus winners, That bonus entry goes to Marco Sepian. And of course, when you hit the goal, get you guys. You can get 4 names into that. But the last time we hit the goal in this last quarter, someone dropped the bomb, like a $60 bomb, and got everybody into the raffle. So shout outs to who did that. I forgot what it was. But let's see who wins that right now and wins that jersey. We're going to do this raffle live on stream. And again, still can hit that goal until we end the show. Keep that in mind. Actually, let me kind of just do that by doing this. Probably real easy to do, guys. Let me see. Not as easy as I thought. Let me see here. I think I got it now. We'll do that, and we'll do. Yeah, there you go. That's close enough. There we go, guys. I just set it up in case you want to see the goal up there and it hits it. But I'm keeping track. All we need is 12. Just letting you know. You need 12 more in case you're interested in hitting the goal. And those people will be into this upcoming quarter's raffle, not the one I'm going to do now. Keep that in mind. So let's get this one done. Let's get this thing going and see who wins this pre-draft special raffle for the last quarter. You know what I mean? Let's see. And there we go. Then we get a little closer. We're 11 away. 11 away from hitting it. 55 away from hitting it. Marco Sepian said, here's another 5 on it. And it reminds me, very important information I want to tell Mr. Marco Sepian. The Motor City in the house. He said, go Cowboys. After dark style. What's up? BB was solid. He was. Now, it says, Mark said, we need a safety, defensive edge rusher, linebacker, and cornerback. Tell me a 20th guy won't be better than a guy we have now. No way. A lot of good players to pick that are upgrades. Agreed. Think about the guy who's there now at I guess a linebacker. He's a 5th rounder. Think about one of the cornerbacks. He's a 6th rounder or 3rd rounder, 4th rounder. Think about the safety we got there. He's not even a rounder. Defensive edge rushers, no, 2nd rounders, 3rd rounders. Yeah, so a 20th overall guy in any of those positions is an automatic upgrade. And then think about the 12th spot. Another 2 automatic upgrades out of those 4 spots. Boom. Marco Sepian bringing some accuracy to the picture here. Thank you there. A lot of good players to pick that are upgrades. 100% agree. Now the Cowboys are stubbornly have 12 guys that are 1st rounders, and we have 2 picks, and they're probably all gone by then. So we're going to go offense? I don't know. Jeremy Betts, man, thank you. Take care. Motor City in the house. Thank you all. We're going to do that raffle now, see who wins it. But I do want to tell Mr. Marco Sepian something here that looks like we may be visiting in spring break time. Let's put it that way. Spring break time. Sometime at the end of March. Your neck of the woods, brother. So, yeah, it's going to be a family trip. Yeah, it's going to have to be something we discussed and kind of set up. But hey, I am looking forward not just to visiting the area, but also getting a chance to hang out with you for at least a couple hours and the family with you here. So, my brother and the rest of the family probably do other things, but we will be there and taking some time out to make sure we get as best of a chance to hang out. Unless unbeknownst or unknown pops up, we will be there in March 2027. Mid-March 2027. So we'll get with you a little bit more on the details there, Mr. Marco Sepian, but can't wait to get some of that coffee, maybe some of that Maui Wowie, you know what I mean? And just enjoying the vibes. I've never been there, so looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to it. Shout out to the man Marco Sepian. Reminding me to say that there with his last drop, just because I meant to say that earlier. And now that I'm done with all that, I'm now going to say the next part of things, which is going to be bye-bye to me, bye-bye to MCW, and bye-bye to our smoky little room there. As you can see here, we got our thumbnail, but now we got to get the raffle on the way here. And with that drop right there, Mr. Marco Sepian said, hey, hold up. I think I want to jump into first place in this beat. And he does. Shout outs to him. He says, imagine Love as our running back. That's what I was saying. If we trade back with 3 picks, one of them could be Love. That's my point. He said, imagine Love as our running back. Oh, God, see you soon. Dinner on me. I know just the place. You're bringing both kids. We in Maui for you. Yes. Listen, brother, we will get to you on the information on that. My brother is kind of setting it all up, so when I get more information, I'll know. He's a wonderful brother, taking family on trips like this. But yeah, we're gonna be checking that out and hitting all the islands. It's gonna be cruise set, believe it or not. I know cruising to Hawaii, that's crazy, but my brother don't fly, so we will be doing that stuff right there, bro. And hitting the islands and getting off on the islands and seeing, we hit all the islands. So we definitely be hitting Maui. So can't wait, brother. And it just DM me through, or not DM me, but go through Discord and let me know your situation, and we can get on the same page on things. As we get closer to this, and we know more on the details. So big shout outs to you, man. I appreciate you. With that drop right there, I think he's in first place. Let me do that too, and then we'll do this raffle as we're a hair away from doing this thing. 13 people in the house saying, who's going to win this goddamn raffle? Marco Sepien, literally a hair, a literal hair in front of Aussie in first place. Aussie drops a second. Oh, just like that. Marco Sepien trying to go back to back. You never know. And I think that would make it. Yeah, that would make it 10. So a $50 holler would basically get everybody into the next raffle. But this raffle, let's see what happens. Here we go. So let me get to it. Let me get this out of the way, and boom, there we go. And those are not the names. I don't know why it's like that. Those are not the names of the actual people in it. Let me get the actual names up, and we'll get it going. Let me do this here, here, and here. All right. So don't know why that's coming up like that, but I will fix it, and you'll see me fixing it right now. Now this is John Luna is in the raffle. Hold on, what's going on here? Damn, I can't even. It's not even getting to work here. Hold on. Trying to get it to work. Let me see. All right, I think I got it now. Sorry, guys. Technical issues. There we go. Okay, let me see if I can get this going now. Boom. And again, it's giving me the wrong thing. You know what? I know what I gotta do. It's funny how it worked, and then it didn't work. Damn. I see it on my side. It's working fine. Let me see here if it's gonna work this time. I think it should now. Let me see. Interact. And it's not. So let me fix it now. You guys should be seeing me fix this here. I delete everybody. Paste all the names. There they are. Should be good now. Let me see if you can see what I'm seeing. You can. All right. So let me just go through it real quick so you guys understand what's going on here. John Luna, star level member. Aussie, star level member. JD Burton, star level member. All three guys get one entry. Again, JD Burton's not on it now, but he was in it for over half the time, so that puts him into the star level. It gives him that point. Marco Sepien, the monthly winner. And those are the 4 guarantees you got there. The rest you see on this list, boom, are all winners of the hitting that goal situation, which again, $50 to put everybody into this, and that's all we have time for. I don't think we have time for any more. So that's the only way that everyone's going to go in. Tonight's that put in some love, drop 5 or more. That's the way you get in a raffle. But you can see here, Skeptical Fan, D-Link, 2 from A. Lavelle, 2 from Harley Dad, and then a whole, I think 14 from Marco Sepien. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then one more up is his monthly winner one. So 14 plus 15 entries for Mr. Marco Sepien, 1 for Mr. Luna, 1 for Aussie, 1 from JD Burton, 2 for A. Lavelle, 2 from Harley Dad, 1 from D-Link, and 1 from Skeptical Fan. But you know what? All you need is 1 to win. And we'll see who wins this one right now, guys. Here we go. Good luck to all. And let's get this thing done. Pick random winner. Boom. Good luck. And the winner is A. Lavelle with the win. Wow, I cannot believe Marco Sepien. I apologize, brother. A. Lavelle with 2 entries pulls out the victory. You know how to get in contact with us. MyCowboysFamily at gmail.com. Let us know the jersey, player, the number, you want to customize the style with the sport. If you want something other than football, the Cowboys, congrats to the one and only A. Lavelle. He's our longest member here, 69. Yeah, I said it right, 69 months here on My Cowboys Family in the silver level, the longest standing member here. Shout outs to you and big thank you to the man A. Lavelle. And thank you to everybody who was in this thing. Marco Seppian with all those entries, the star level members, Mr. Luna Aussie, JD Burton, and then D Link, Harley Dad, Skeptical Fan, all you guys that were in this thing, Marco Seppian, and A. Lavelle, the big winner on this side of things. Congrats on New Jersey. Can't wait to see what you pick. And that wraps it up here for another Cowboys chat. Let me see. There I am. There I am. There's the background. And there's the wife. Even if she's not here right now. Let me see. Can I get her on here? Boom. There she is. All right, guys. Thank you all. Let me see here. It's been rocking out loud. Let me see. Hot Motor City said I got some. Yeah, we're going to be talking a little bit motor on the After Dark. I'm going live here probably in like an hour or so. I got to do a couple things on the 5 Wise, and then I'll be doing a little mini party stream. Then I have to hold off. I feel okay to do the theme, but I just don't really have the time right now. So I'll probably be in the next couple of days for the end of this month. We're going to do a great theme regarding animals, any animal, whether it's in the artist name or in the song name. So group name, whatever it is. Well, we do some fun stuff on MCF After Dark, and that's After Dark. It's don't say 1, but it's MCF After Dark 2, MCF After Dark 2, or MCF After Dark 3. We talk politics, we bullshit, we shit talk, we talk about everything. We drink, we party, we smoke some weed, whatever we do. We do a lot of things here. Baruch says Meatball Ron, and if you're in the After Dark sessions, you know what it means. Meatball Ron knows. I think Seabass been around enough. Motor knows. Scorpio, I know you know. Marcos Helpian might even know. Appreciate you all again. Thank you for being here. And see you guys on the After Dark hours here for a few of those hours. Probably around 3 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock Eastern time. After I get caught up with some 9 to 5 stuff. And then we rocking and rolling. On that note, guys, thank you for joining me here and the wife for most of the stream. On all the Cowboy news, info, and updates as we get this draft season officially kicked off in about 18 hours. Let's go. Let's see what the Cowboys do with pick number 12, pick number 20, and in the first round. That's just what's going down on Thursday night. And after the stream, after the draft is over on Thursday, first round, we'll be live soon after that. So stay tuned right here, My Cowboys Family. I try to say this all the time, and I'm going to give the shout outs again. Harley Dad, Jeremy Betts, Drums, Calvin Richard, and Marco Seppi. Thank you for dropping the love and helping the channel. You guys know the sponsor of the quarter is the man Marco Seppian. The big winner of the jersey today is A. Lavelle. JD Burton, he's running the stream right now with 43 points. The gifting champion is NDM Boogie. And Skeptical Fan holding that crown right now is the Cash App King. Jeremy Betts, though, is in the lead currently with 5 on it. Thank you all. Have a good night. We'll see you in less than 24 hours for a little first round draft recap for our Cowboys and so much more. Again, you can hit that like, subscribe, hit that notification bell onto all videos, and follow us on all social media, My Cowboys Family. But, you could be anywhere. You're here with us. And you're here representing that navy blue, that silver too, and that star over everything. That's why we do this thing here as often as we possibly can at this point for 10 seasons and 9.5, over 9.5, almost 10. Well, I guess you could say 8.5, almost 9 full years on YouTube. But this is our 10th season. This is entering our 10th season, so it's crazy. And no matter what, guys, win, lose, or draw, good, bad, or ugly, here on this channel, we always, and you can see it, we always rep that star over everything. And like I said, 9.5 years, 10 seasons, almost 10 seasons. Never forget, ever forget the number one thing here, now, and forever. As always, go Cowboys! Let's get that 6 in 2026. I'm dreaming. I know. I'm dreaming. I'm hoping. Guys, you can be anywhere. You can be anywhere on the YouTube. You're here with us, whether watching this live or on the replay. Hit the like, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Leave a comment if you're watching us on the replay. And again, cannot do this entire thing as long as we've done it for without your guys' input, your help, your support, your love. Thank you all. It's really appreciated. Now, on that note, it is time to run out, rock out of here. Thank you guys for dropping the knowledge in the chat all night long. Thank you all for dropping the love from above. And now it is time to officially drop out of here. Cannot wait. So, we back? I think I disconnected for a second. All right, yeah. So I'm just saying, guys, we'll be back here in less than 24 hours to do a round 1 2026 draft recap for our Dallas Cowboys. And hopefully it'll be a good one. That's what I'm hoping for. Take care, everybody. Peace and love. Thank you all for being here. Before we can officially drop out for this evening, for this night, for this pre-stream, this pre-draft stream special, before we can drop out for the night, remember what the wife always says, we got to drop the beat. Oh, yeah. The beat has been dropped. The beat's been dropped. And so has the cover photo there, the thumbnail there. We got Aubrey. He's booked $7 million a year for 4 years. We're not going to long-term Pickens and probably no trade either. But Jerry Jones on the phone. Still looking for linebackers. Schottenheimer also. He said, Marquise Bell smoking too much weed there. Can't be doing that. No concentrates. And then a whole crop of players that we could draft there. The 12th and 20th spot in the first round on Thursday. And then we'll go Friday, Saturday, finish this thing up. We'll see what happens, guys. But here, you know the deal. It's always about that navy blue, that silver too, and that star over everything. Here on My Cowboys Family, here in MCF, never forget, the number one thing here on this channel is you guys. Keeping this thing going, the interactions, support, the discussions. Thank you all. Also, don't forget to hit that like button right now if you haven't. Hit the subscribe button for this channel. And once you do that, you can hit the notification bell and put it on to all videos because I'll be dropping shorts, sometimes videos, sometimes, of course, a lot of live streams. We'll be on again for the draft tomorrow. So get back on it, and we'll be talking about it very, very soon. Thank you guys again. Can't wait to see you all here for another one right after round 1 of the draft. And as always, you can follow us on all social media, My Cowboys Family. Stay safe. And never ever forget. Go Cowboys!
Monk on the beat. Monk on the beat. Monk on the beat. Monk on the beat.